showing the line just to get into this rally. Sorry, this peaceful protest. I have to be politically correct here. The line getting into here was massive, absolutely massive. We walked for a really long time going down that line. I wouldn't be surprised if it was maybe 2 or 3 miles going down it. Right now, the Real Clear Politics average has Joe Biden up 11 points in New Hampshire. 11 points. And we just walked a 2 or 3 mile line of Trump supporters just lined up to get in here, guys, today. Biden's not up 11 points. Biden is not up 11 points. There is real support among him, and I think that is why the president is here today. Just because of the line right here.
Republican Party, Pam Tucker.
Good morning. Please join me in a prayer today. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us together in love and peace today. Please bless this gathering with each of your children who are here with us and here on earth. We come together with a mission that binds us to promote love, peace, and prosperity for all of mankind through our actions and our words. In a world that seems so divided, so filled with anger and hate, let us find love in each other and goodness in each other's hearts. Let us, Lord, grant us the ability to find that love, the courage to stand up for what is right and what is just in this world, and the strength to face our adversaries with that love. We learn and live from the words of our Lord, as Mark in chapter 12, verse 31 of the Bible said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with your soul, and all your mind, and all your strength." The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than this. This is our mandate. Let us put these words into action when we are assaulted with negativity and strife. Keep us strong. Keep us together. Keep us striving for what is right in this world for all. Let us show those who attack us the love that we have for them. Lord, as we approach the final days of this campaign season, please bless the one man who is leading this charge, the one who is standing up for freedom, prosperity, and for everyone, our President, Donald J. Trump. Thank you. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome co-chair for the Donald J. Trump for President campaign in New Hampshire, State Representative Al Baldessaro.
Hoorah! Can we please stand? We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. To all my fellow veterans out there and spouses, God bless America. Hoorah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hoorah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jessica Tham.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket
our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome candidate for U.S. Senate, Corky Mesner.
How do you feel after hearing that song? USA! 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 I would like to thank President Trump for nominating Amy Coney Barrett to the United States Supreme Court. ACB! 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 Now guess what? Jeanne Shaheen is going to vote no on ACB. Jeanne Shaheen thinks that ACB is not a good role model for your daughters. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Now, how many of you out there have sons or daughters in the military? Me too. As you know, I have two sons that are West Pointers. One is a second lieutenant down at Fort Benning, and my other son is a junior at West Point. There is no other person that I would like to be commander-in-chief in the future than President Donald J. Trump. He will take care of our sons and daughters in the military. Now, I got to tell you something that Jeanne Shaheen said about our sons and daughters in the military. When President Trump made the very wise decision to reposition the troops off of the Syrian-Turkish border not long ago, Jeanne Shaheen said it was a mistake. And she said we should leave them there because she thought it was a minor cost. And she said that we've only had a few of our soldiers killed there, and we ought to leave them there. We need to vote her out of office. We need to get rid of D.C. Jeanne Shaheen. I am going to retire her. I am going to retire her. President Trump has built up the military unlike it's never been built up before, and I want to thank him for that. Our sons and daughters who are serving will be taken care of by President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. 4 more years. 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 Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome candidate for New Hampshire's 2nd Congressional District, Steve Negron.
It's a great day in New Hampshire! I would like us just to take a moment. Hello. There are men and women serving our country right now in places that you cannot pronounce the names. And I just want to take a moment to thank them, sons and daughters, fathers and mothers, because they are allowing us to meet here today in the great state of New Hampshire for just a moment of silence for all the men and women serving overseas. Thank you. I tell you what, now we're going to kick some ass. I tell you what, that's what we're going to do. You know, I got 3 beautiful children, and my son is a CV-22 crew chief with the Air Force Special Operations Command at Hurlburt. And I just want to say hi, Stephen. Hi, Jamie, who's down in Texas with his sister, Katie, who's a senior at TCU. Go Frogs. But I tell you what, none of that is possible without the woman that I've been married for 28 years. Terry, where are you? She's a retired colonel, and before anybody asks, yes, she outranked me. There's 2 more groups I want to thank. That we have in the great state of New Hampshire in the legislature, we have a group of folks called the Beer Caucus. The BCers are the guys that are like the dark government in New Hampshire. We're the BCers. Where's the Beer Caucus? Where are you guys at? Y a los latinos, para Trump, mira, tenemos que apoyar a este presidente porque tenemos que estar en la Casa Blanca por 4 años más. Así, adelante los hispanos. Look, in a little while, we're going to be hearing from our great president, the 45th president. And we now know what he has done for this country. The previous administration, for the 8 years prior, he made the United States take a knee. I tell you what, I'm a retired military officer. We never took a knee under President Reagan, and we're not taking a knee under Trump. This is about gaining the respect of this country for all the veterans, all the people, all the law enforcement, all the first responders, all the people on the front lines of the medical career field, the people that have kept this country safe. Our president has your back, and I will too, in Congress. So I'm running against a 4-term incumbent, Ann Custer. Now, I'm sure she's a nice person at home. I'm sure. But the point is, she has abandoned law enforcement, not only in our state, but across this country. She not once denounced any of the stuff that was happening in Seattle, Portland, Kenosha, Rochester, Chicago. And then she actually signed on to the bill this June to take away qualified immunity from our law enforcement. And I'm here to tell all the law enforcement people here, state, federal, and local, I have your back. We do back the blue. We will not defund. We will defend the law enforcement people of the great state of New Hampshire. So here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a big jet that's going to fly right here. It's going to land, and we're going to welcome our 45th president. Let me tell you something. I wear a mask that says Trump Pence, and I do that because I want to trigger people. I want to trigger them, but I got to tell you what? Nobody's coming up to me. Here's what I hear. I'm with the president. We go to a restaurant. I put my mask on the table. They go, we're with him. That's the thing. You can't poll that. You can't feel that. You can't quantify that. But take a look around, folks. This is Trump victory right here. So in closing, I just want to say thank you for everybody that's out here supporting the president, supporting our governor, supporting Corky, supporting the short guy that's going to come up right after me. But I got to tell you, we have this. We're going to take it home. God bless the United States, and God bless the great state of New Hampshire. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome candidate for New Hampshire's 1st Congressional District, Matt Mowers.
Well, it may be a little chilly, but I think we're all fired up. Are we fired up for the next 9 days? Are we going to make sure we win in 9 short days? Well, that sounds pretty good. You know, my name is Matt Mowers. I'm running against Nancy Pelosi's #1 sock puppet, Chris Pappas. Yeah, this is a guy who doesn't know whether to wake up in the morning without getting that alarm clock ring. Hi, this is Nancy. He literally votes with her 100% of the time. But worse than that, he's been lying to us. He lied to us 2 years ago when he said he would be an independent voice down in Washington, D.C. He lied to us when he said he would try to help our economy. And yet right now, he and Nancy Pelosi are holding hostage critical relief for small businesses and working class families. He lied to every single middle-class family when he said he'd try to lower taxes. Yet right now on the floor, he's a sponsor of a bill, get this, that would increase all of our taxes, our payroll tax, by 20%. Chris Pappas lied to law enforcement. He looked them in the eye 2 years ago and said he'd stand up for them. But what's he done? He sided with Nancy Pelosi again and stripped away critical protections. And if that went through, it would allow criminals to sue our cops. That's how crazy they've gotten. And just a few nights ago, on live television, Congressman Pappas lied to us again. Congressman Pappas lied about the fact they did not disclose a relationship with a corporate lobbyist who is lobbying on behalf of tech giant Amazon, at a time when he then went and cast a vote on Amazon's behalf that would have allowed doubling the number of foreign workers to take American jobs in this country. That's the type of deceit and corruption that we need to get rid of in 9 days, and with your help, we will drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Well, in 9 short days, we're going to be able to drain that swamp because we have a very different vision for America. We have one that believes in us, the people of America. We believe in one that believes in us, the people, not the powerful, not the politicians, not the lobbyists down in Washington, D.C., but you. We're the ones that believe that we should be putting American workers first. We're the ones that believe we should be lowering taxes. We're the ones that believe that we need a foreign policy that says America's interests matter first. We don't need to be out in a bunch of foreign wars with our troops. We need to be watching out for America's interests on the world stage. Well, I've got a bargain for all of you. If we leave here today and we go out and work, and we make sure that we work for the next 9 days, I'm pretty confident we're going to get 4 more years. So go out there and work. Go out there and get every family, friend, and neighbor. Go out there and knock on doors. I'm sure we all have one of those uncles or aunts who says, oh, I don't want to vote anymore. What's it worth it? You got to get them out to vote, because this election matters. In 9 short days, our voice will be heard again. We will re-elect our president, and we'll send him some allies down to Washington, D.C., and we'll kick that gavel out of Nancy Pelosi's hand. Thank you very much. I'm Matt Mowers. Ask for your support. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It seemed like we were only live there for a couple minutes before we had some speakers, and as you could tell, the comments were abbreviated today, as we're just an hour away from President Trump's arrival here in Manchester, New Hampshire, where he will deliver remarks at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I did look while we were listening to those speakers. I was curious what the temperature is. It's actually a little bit warmer than what it feels like. It is 45 degrees or 47 degrees, but with the wind chill, it does feel like it's 42. Alex, how do you feel about the fact that we left our coats and beanies and everything at the hotel?
I feel rather silly and a little stupid, to be frank. I thought that this was going to be a little bit warmer than it was. I thought up here it'd be a little bit nicer, but I guess when you're up in the rises, it tends to be a little bit cooler. But yeah. I would just like to say, we were walking through this earlier, and the crowd is massive, guys. I don't know if we can really show it yet, but it is insane, guys, right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what is going on. The polls say Biden's ahead by 11. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. And what else I can't believe is that My colleague here, Alex, refuses to hold this freezing cold microphone. He's just going to talk into it while I hold it. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and switch off here. Guys, let me tell you, we are so happy that you joined us here today. As you know, 9 days until the election, which means we are going to be all over the country. Matter of fact, after this rally, I'm hopping on a flight to Philly to make it to an Allentown, PA rally that was just announced last night. President Trump is going to be kicking it into high gear. He already has, essentially, as we just had 3 rallies yesterday, North Carolina, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Today we're here in Manchester, New Hampshire. Tomorrow in Pennsylvania there are 3 rallies. And then on Tuesday he's going to be in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. So there's going to be no shortage of rallies for us to attend, which means your donations go a long way to sending us to these rallies. We are committed to bringing you live coverage of every single one of President Trump's rallies, but your support helps us get there. Your donations, your likes, your shares help us reach more people. So please, if you would, go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. It's very expensive to get flights, especially when we have to change flights at the last minute. Of course, you know, we got to get hotels, rental cars. It's chaotic. Our CEO at the studio works almost as hard as President Trump. I don't know how he gets it done, but he gets it done managing a team that's growing, a team that's diverse. We're all over the country right now. So guys, please, if you wouldn't mind, support this movement. 9 days to go until the most important election anybody's ever going to vote in. Please go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. Another way you can support us is in the bottom right-hand corner of this chat on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, go in the bottom right-hand corner and click the little $sign, and you can support us that way. The third way is if you don't want to donate digitally. I get it. Some people don't want to do that. If you're more comfortable mailing a physical check to our physical address, it is 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. Back to you, Alex.
Thank you, Mike.
This time.
Oh, I got the freezing cold mic
warm
now.
my hands
It
up
is
now.
freezing cold. Well, and I would just like to stress that it costs about $5,000 to $7,000 to come just to one of these rallies, and we're going to be doing 5 or 6 a week starting next week. It's going to be a lot. It's going to cost a lot. It's going to be a difficult thing to do. But I would just like to stress that, please, every single donation helps us tremendously, because you can't trust CNN to show you guys the crowds. You can't trust MSNBC to show you the crowds. We are the only ones up here, and I really mean it. We are the only ones up here who actually do that. We're the only ones up here who interview people. We're the only ones up here who show you the free speakers. We're the only ones up here who try to show you who's coming to these rallies, because you can't pull what's happening here. And nobody else wants to tell you guys about it, but we are going to tell you guys about it. So if you would like to see us continue to go to all of these rallies and show you guys every single rally that President Trump has lined up over the next several days, then please, I encourage you all to donate. Again, that is rsbnetwork.com/donate. You can also donate in the live chat, but keep in mind they do take 30% of it on YouTube. So if you do not want your donation taken from YouTube, 30% of it, then please go to our website at rsbnetwork.com/donate. And like Mike was saying, you can also donate through mail. That is 1550 Opelika Road, spelled Opelika, Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, 36830 in Auburn, Alabama. So guys, thank you so much for all of your support and helping continue to make us be able to go to all of these rallies, because between airfare, between hotels, it is a difficult thing to do. Like my friend Mike was saying, he's going right off to Allentown right after this rally. Yesterday I was in Fayetteville. Right after that I came to Manchester, New Hampshire, which I must say it is a wonderful, wonderful town. A little bit cold, but it's a cute town, as our camera guy was saying earlier. A very, very cute town, very, very New England, gives that feel to it. It's just a wonderful place here right now, and we can see a lot of people coming in right behind me right now. A sea of red hats. A lot of people were actually recognizing RSBN earlier. A lot of people yelling, "We love RSBN." So it means so much to us when you guys do go to these rallies and you do give us shout outs and you do say that you support us, because it really does go a long way, and it just shows how much you guys appreciate us. And I'd just like to say we all do really appreciate you guys as well, because without you we wouldn't be here. So thank you all for all of your support. Mike?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Alex. I want to jump into the chat here and make sure that I'm reading these donations, because we have gotten some super chats here. Nelly, thank you for your super chat. Video Pieces, thank you for your super chat. We got a new member, Robert Lowe. Thank you. Aaron Berkeley gave us a super chat. Thank you, Aaron. Rob Marshall, thank you for your super chat. JCW says Biden 2020. Not going to happen, buddy. But thank you for your super chat anyway. Holly Elliott says, God bless the USA, President Trump. Trumps RSBN for giving us a place to chat and watch. Did you mean to say Trump chumps? She said Trump chumps. Anyway, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate you. And I think there's one more there. Melissa Koenig, thank you for your super chat. God bless you. And I believe our CEO sent me the website donations, and I want to make sure I read those out here. If I can get them pulled up here. Gloria's playing in the background here. Here we go. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm going to read some website donations here. Look, can we get a load of this crowd here, Miles? Can we show the crowd? Look at the crowd here. Just so they're not staring at this beautiful white hat I'm wearing. I'd rather them look at the crowd. Look at the people over here dancing over to our left. This is great. I love it. Yeah. This crowd over here to the left. Got some fans over here waving. We're going to get them on camera here. I'm going to read some of these donations from our website. First one is from Regina Marie. Regina says, love this coverage. My friend Joanne in Florida told me about Right Side Broadcasting Network. Keep up the good work. Go President Trump. We need you there. Okay. Joe's sending them to me now, and I'm reading them off. Okay. The next one is from Rodney. Rodney said, go Trump 2020. We got Roger Charles. He said, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Trump Pence 2020. Leon and Donna Barnaby says, go Trump, go Republicans, great broadcasting. Julie Heron says, I enjoy and love all you do. I watch as many Trump rallies as I can. Thank you so much for making that possible. Well, thank you, Julie. You make it possible. Your donations, your support makes it possible, Julie. So thank you very much. God bless you. Next up, Jennifer Hart. Jennifer Hart says, you guys are great. You are the future. Thank you. That means a lot to us. Dolores says, Dolores didn't leave anything, but she did donate. Thank you, Dolores. Paul says, get out and vote for freedom. Thank you to RSBN for the excellent coverage. Sue Money says, thank you, RSBN, for the best coverage of rallies. Love seeing the Patriots packed crowds. Great to see you guys beat the mainstream. Hope you get greater coverage for supporting our great president, vice president, and his team. We need an independent network. Love you guys. Keep up the great work. Frank Garcia says, thank you, RSBN. Love the entire crew. We can't tell you enough how much we love the way you cover our POTUS's rallies. You show the entire venue, and the way you single out the Trump supporters and do those side interviews is a plus. Very well done, and in my opinion, important. I like hearing the enthusiasm coming from the people. Thank you again. God bless you in America and POTUS. 4 more years. Thank you so much for that, Frank. We appreciate you. Tim Jackson says, I need tickets for a Trump rally in Martinsburg, PA. Tim, I think you can just show up, literally. I mean, you may have to reserve a spot online, but to my knowledge, I think you can just show up. You got nothing to lose. Show up. We'll see you there. Moving along. Aline says, I appreciate all the great work you Patriots are doing. I tell everyone to watch your coverage of rallies. Thank you so much for telling people. Word of mouth is crucial right now. We are growing as a company. We're growing as an outlet. As we're bringing this coverage week after week, we're breaking our own records while we are doubling up the mainstream media on coverage of these rallies. And it's because of Patriots like you that support us and get the word out. Linda Meyer says, we love you, President Trump, and pray for you and your family every day. I do believe God will always outweigh evil. Good will always outweigh evil. Douglas Dion says, keep draining the swamp. Tim Hell says, you guys rock. God bless America. God bless Trump. Casey Doyle says, to the Never Trumpers, Joe Walsh, George, Will, Lincoln Project, lobbyists, etc. This one's a little long. But I do appreciate you, Casey, for your donation. God bless you. Thank you so much. Moving along. Vicky says, thank you for your hard work. I follow all your rallies for President Trump. I love that you let us hear the speakers before President Trump arrives. So glad that you show the crowd Trump and Pence. And I'm going to read one more here. Happy Alexander says, designmydriveway.com loves Donald Trump. Okay, I think that was a shameless plug there. DesignMyDriveway.com. So maybe, I don't know what DesignMyDriveway.com means. Maybe it means you can get President Trump on your driveway or something. I don't know. I've seen some creative stuff out there. I've seen Trump cut in people's yards. I've seen all kind of stuff. People are just really creative. But yeah, guys, if you donate to us via the website, which is rsbnetwork.com/donate, we will read your donation out on air live, as well as the super chats. We're going to read all those. I got more of those right now. Justin, thank you for your super chat. Even though you're saying, Justin says, Trump for prison 2020. Okay, thank you for your donation, but that's not going to happen. Okay, Alex Rocco, thank you for your super chat. Anna G just became a new member. Thank you. We appreciate you. Yankee Watchdog says MCHS Little Green. Thank you. And we got Amy Pride 7777. Thank you, RSBN Trump 2020. Let me go all the way back over here to the end. I got Holly. I read that one. I read Aaron. Trying to keep up with these here. Okay, here we go. Debbie Treat says, even Biden supporters sent RSBN money. LOL. RSBN and President Trump. That is so true. That's so true. Alex, what do you think about this? The trolls, they want their comments right. They're starving for attention so much that they're willing to donate to us. All I can do is say thank you. God bless you. You're amazing. Jesus loves you. Keep it coming. What else you got for us? Jimmy Snickers, thank you for your donation. Guys, this is going to be a short day for us, a shorter day. President Trump is going to be here within 45 minutes. It's 11:46 Eastern. He's scheduled to deliver remarks at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And we've got a big crowd. Like the overflow here to our right here is really, there's a lot of people here. And they're still coming. If you want, check out the line on Twitter. We tweeted out the line. There's an incredible line. All right, Lars Anderson says Joe Biden brags about their election fraud. Watch him at Tin Pool. Yeah, Joe Biden brags about this stuff. It's crazy. Alex, you can chime in a little bit on this because we were talking last night about what's going on as far as the lay of the land here in New Hampshire with Pennsylvania. What are your thoughts about the ability of Joe Biden and the Democrats to rig the election?
Oh, I don't put it past them at all. I mean, we've seen people sending ballots to dead pets. We've seen Ohio, 50,000 ballots were given out incorrectly. My state of Pennsylvania in Allegheny County, 28,000 ballots given to the wrong people or just given out incorrectly. You know, they can't win unless they change the game by cheating. I was in our room last night at the hotel, and I'm sitting there with Mike, and we've got the TV on. And we're watching TV, and the news comes on. We're watching the news. And they're showing Joe Biden at a rally in New Hampshire, I believe. It was New Hampshire. And Joe Biden is speaking, and we were thinking, oh, show the crowds. We want to really see the crowds. And the news did the unthinkable. They zoomed out really quickly and showed us the crowd. And I am not kidding you. There had to have been about 20 people at that event. They were all in little circles, 6 feet away from each other. And Joe is speaking to them. And it was laughable. It was laughable. And they say he's ahead. They say he's ahead 11 points in New Hampshire. They say he's ahead. Right now, the Real Clear Politics average has him up 5 or 6 in Pennsylvania. I never remember. It's always changing every single day. I didn't get to check it today. But they say that he's up in all of these states. And then you go out to these states. I go to these states, and I look and I see the kinds of people that are out there. Thousands of people are at that state. I was in Nevada not too long ago, about a month ago, and I was thinking, I think Nevada might go to Joe Biden. It looks like it's going to be that way. It's going to be hard for Trump to overcome the what they have him down by in Nevada. I go to Nevada, and we had 25,000 people at the rally. 25,000 people, and they say Trump was down 5 points in Nevada. I don't buy it. I don't buy that Biden is going to win in this all-out landslide, that Trump is not going to concede the race, and that he's going to stay in the White House, and it's going to be such a clear Biden victory. He's going to flip Texas. He's going to flip Georgia. And I was just saying, they're saying that Biden is up 13 points in Pennsylvania, outperforming Lyndon Johnson, outperforming FDR in the 1944 election during the Second World War, outperforming Obama. They have him doing better in my state of Pennsylvania, up anywhere from 10 to 13 points in a lot of these polls coming out. And then you see Biden, he's going to Pennsylvania all of the time. He wouldn't be going there if he thought it wasn't in play. If Biden thought it was a safe state, if he thought, oh, I'm up 13 points, I will be fine, you'd see him down in Georgia. You'd see him down in Texas. You'd see him down in Florida. But you see him in Pennsylvania. You see him in Michigan. You see him in New Hampshire. And you know why? It's because he's scared. He's scared that he is not going to win. He is scared that there is not going to be enough votes out there for him because he does not have the enthusiasm and he does not have what it takes to be president. Mike, do you think Joe Biden has what it takes to be president?
I don't think he wants to be president. And first of all, he doesn't think he's running for president. He thinks he's running for Senate, as we've covered several times. Joe Biden has said several times he thinks he's running for the Senate. I hope he wins the Senate race. I'm really pulling for him there. I really do hope that he wins the Senate race. It's just insane that this man, they've lied him in the first place. And you brought up a good point, and I don't know if you talked about this already, but you said that if Joe Biden were truly up in states like Pennsylvania, he wouldn't be campaigning in Pennsylvania. He wouldn't be hitting Pennsylvanians over the head with all those ads. He would be in Texas. He'd be trying to steal other states. But there's something to be said about the fact that he's still campaigning hard. If Pennsylvania's in the bag, if Michigan's in the bag, if Wisconsin's in the bag, why is he campaigning so hard in those states? He should be going to Montana. He should be in Utah. He should be trying to win red states. Why isn't he going to Tennessee? Why isn't he going to Arkansas? Or could it be that the media's lying and the polls are fake? I tend to think that it's the latter. You know, Joe Biden is just insane. And I want to talk about something else. You know, Joe Biden, as he is so cocky and arrogant as it comes to the black vote, so is one of his allies, Chelsea Handler. So this story came out, and I put it on social media yesterday for those of you that follow me. I put out a video where Chelsea Handler said 50 Cent needs to be reminded that he's black and he can't vote for Donald Trump. This is insane. This is what the Democrat Party is. It is pure racism right in your face. For her to go on Jimmy Fallon and say that he needs to be reminded that he's black is just, it's just, that's where the Democrats are right now. So it's frustrating that nobody calls them out because this is just the pure hypocrisy. She doesn't realize, or she doesn't acknowledge, that her own racism and bigotry are on full display when she tells somebody that they can't vote a certain way because of their skin color. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting. What do you think?
I think she's no better than Joe Biden. Not too long ago, it was Joe Biden who said, if you're black and you don't know whether to vote for me or for Trump, you ain't black. You ain't black. Fall in line, or you're not black. That's racist. I know the left throws that term around a lot. That's racist. That is racism. Saying that you have to vote some way because of your skin color.
Yeah, I mean, we have really, and this is how you know that the right things are happening, when they're coming out and they're basically trying to corral black people back onto the liberal thought plantation, because what they need is a monolithic block of supporters. And for decades, they've had that. They've had that unanimously. They've had control over the black vote, but they no longer have it. I am a testament of that. So millions of black people. There are black people in this audience here. There are millions of black people who have walked away from the Democrat Party. They're just seeing things for what they are. They're waking up. They see what President Trump has done for the black community, what he's done for all Americans, regardless of race. That's really what it's about, is what he's doing for all Americans. And this whole notion that your skin color is supposed to somehow dictate your political alignment and determine who you vote for is a thing of the past. And again, I'm hammering home every chance I get the myth of the party switch. There's no evidence to it. Back in the day, Democrats judged people by the color of their skin. Today, in the year 2020, Democrats still judge people by the color of their skin. And these hypocrites that cry about racism all the time refuse to call it out and expose it. How can Jimmy Fallon sit there and not correct her? How come Charlemagne the God did not correct Joe Biden when he said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black? It's not even just that they expect the black vote. They talk down and condescend to us. They think that we don't understand proper grammar. So they say, you ain't black. Hillary Clinton, hot sauce in my purse. Kamala Harris, oh, I'm wearing Timberlands. I smoked weed. I listen to Tupac. This is the Democrat Party. And it just shows you that Donald Trump is effective. President Trump is gaining. He's going to have, I think, double-digit percentage of the black vote.
Well, actually, it's funny that you bring that up because Rasmussen, one of the most accurate polls in the 2016 election, says that President Trump's approval rating among black Americans is at 46%. 46% among black Americans. And I know I'm talking about polls again, and I know that I'm saying right now that if Biden is not in Texas, if he's not in Georgia and he's in Pennsylvania, that state's in play, and that while Trump might have a high approval rating with black Americans, that doesn't mean we should be complacent. I think that means we should vote. We need to vote because we can't do what happened in 2016 where we just ignore the states like Hillary Clinton did and she lost them. We need to vote, and we need to make sure, because 2016 taught us that anything can happen. We need to make sure that we do go out and we do vote for Donald Trump this November. You vote. You take 5 people with you. You take 10 people with you. You take them and you get voting. You go out and you vote. You make sure that your vote counts. You make sure that everybody there is voting, that nothing bad is going on. But again, back to what you were saying about the Hollywood and the celebrities and Chelsea Handler. I think that the celebrities are hurting the Democrats' cause by so many different means. I was in Fayetteville yesterday in North Carolina, and I was with Brian Glenn, and we were sitting in the hotel room and we're watching the TV, and a commercial comes on. It's the Hollywood celebrities made this commercial, and they're saying, first of all, I should add, they're naked. In the commercial, they're naked. And they're saying that we should vote blue this November. Vote blue because a naked celebrity told me to. What? Okay, if you vote blue because a naked celebrity on a TV commercial, because a naked Sarah Silverman told you to vote, then you have issues. I am so sorry. But that is absurd. And it just shows that they're so out of touch. They don't know anything that's going on in this country. You think that a celebrity making millions of dollars can relate to the people, that can relate to the struggles that everyday Americans have, or whether or not they can put food on the table, where they don't know what their next check is coming because they've been put out of work due to COVID?
Yeah, I mean, just like your skin color shouldn't dictate your political alignment, celebrity endorsements should not either. Matter of fact, anything a celebrity endorses, I'm probably going to go the other direction, because 9 times out of 10, they're all in alignment on something that's going to be destructive. I mean, look at their films. Look at their music. It's destructive. It's propaganda. It's anti-American. And it doesn't matter if you're talking movies, music, or sports. Just last week, the sports announcers Joe Buck and Troy Aikman got caught on a hot mic disparaging our military. I mean, these are the most un-American people in the history of our country. And they're in positions of power. They have platforms reaching millions of people. And I just think every celebrity endorsement of Joe Biden is one more reason to support President Trump.
You're exactly right. And another famous celebrity out there who's been caught saying some very horrible things, liberal hack and former sports commentator Keith Olbermann. He got caught. Well, actually, no, he didn't get caught. He said this openly. He said this openly on air. He said that Trump supporters and Trump and all of his friends must be removed from our society. What do you think that means? Removed from our society. If people like him are getting power, that's a very dangerous thing for our country, in my opinion.
It sounds very dog whistly. You know, they always say President Trump is sending out dog whistles. That sounds like them's fighting words. I'll just say that. That's what it sounds like to me. Let me stay caught up on these super chats here. CIV says, great job, guys. Daisy Coco says, shout out to James and Jack. I see you in the crowd. And we got a new member by the name of Anna Stobe. Thank you. We got a super chat from In-Gang Computer. Says, what do you get when you rearrange the letters in Joe Biden? I need a job. Nice. That's a good one. We might have to tweet that one out. Everett said, Biden's bank account is as secure as Hillary's private server, so thank him for this donation. That's great. They're funny today. I appreciate all you guys for your super chats. And for those of you just tuning in, there are several ways that you can support us. As you know, President Trump's going to be delivering remarks today. And immediately following this rally, I'm hopping on a plane to go to Allentown, Pennsylvania for a rally tomorrow that was just announced last night. President Trump is going to be doing so many rallies, and we are committed to you, the viewers, to bringing you live coverage of every single one of these rallies. And the only way we can do that is with your support, with your help. We don't take money from big billionaires and big corporations. We're viewer supported. almost entirely viewer supported. This is your network. This isn't our network. This is your network. This is our network. Together we're going to win this fight. We can only do it with your help. So if you want to support this movement, if you want to support our coverage of President Trump's historic re-election, please go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. Or you can mail a check to our physical address, 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. You can also, even though YouTube does take 30%, you can donate via Super Chat on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, in the bottom right-hand corner, just click on that little flashing $sign. And I'll read it out on air, of course. Bimbo Dickens BXN says, family of 4 voted for Trump this week in person. In the state, we need to keep red looking good for us. 29 electoral votes. Latinos for Trump. Oh, once you said 29 electoral votes, I already knew what state you're talking about. You're talking about the great state of Florida, my stomping grounds, my backyard, the Sunshine State, the place I wish I was right now. I love New Hampshire, I love you, but it's cold out here. Yes, indeed, Florida, the biggest prize up for grabs, 29 electoral votes, the biggest swing state by far. Vote early, vote now. We've been able to vote early since the 19th, and unlike Pennsylvania, we're able to vote early in person. We're the only swing state with a Republican governor. He cleaned house in Broward County down there, where they had a bunch of fraud and corruption. We cleaned house down there. So things are running smoothly, but I cannot stress enough, if your state does early voting, do it now. Do not wait until November 3rd. Do it right now. Get the momentum. The only way that they can steal this election via fraud is if they have a lead or it's close enough on election day for them to get the mail-in votes. That's the only way they can do it. At least in my mind, that's the only way they can do it. But if we have a massive lead, if the Republicans have a massive lead on election day, there's no way they can compensate via voter fraud.
Oh, I think you're exactly right. And I'd just like to say, in my state of Pennsylvania, they made it so that they can still count the mail-in votes 3 days after the election, and that the name on the ballot doesn't have to, the signature on the ballot doesn't have to match the signature on the application. I mean, that's what we're dealing with here in my home state, where we've got a governor that's, bless his heart, he's something else, I'll say that. But it's so important that we get out and vote, and that we have a lead that is so insurmountable that no amount of fraud can do anything about that. And you know what? I think in my state of Pennsylvania, I think that President Trump is going to win it. As Scott Pressler was saying, he does a lot of work getting people in my state registered. 180,000 people since 2016 have registered for the Republican Party. Since 2016, new voters, 180,000. Democrats got 90,000. We are beating them by 90,000 votes in Pennsylvania. And Trump won the state by 40,000 votes. That's 130,000 votes, assuming that everybody goes and they vote the same as they did in 2016. He wins 130,000 votes. They can't fraudulate. They can't make enough fake votes to overpass 130,000 votes. I mean, they can't, but we need to make sure that we go out and vote. We cannot let them take that state. We cannot let them win, because likely the winner of Pennsylvania is going to be the winner of the election. I don't think anybody can win without the state of Pennsylvania. It is a fantastic state. We just have poor leadership, but hopefully that will change sometime soon. Mike, I wish I had your governor. DeSantis is doing a great job. Our governor is a wolf, quite literally, in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, you can't have our governor. We're going to keep him. We're going to reelect that man. And man, did we dodge a bullet like the Matrix by electing him over that corrupt fraudster Andrew Gillum. Man, Florida, we are so lucky, because I guarantee you, if Andrew Gillum were governor, he would wreck our economy, turn it into a sanctuary haven, and he would use the pandemic to exploit his power. Or he'd exploit the pandemic to seize power. That's what we know for sure. And of course, there'd be all kind of rampant fraud. I guarantee you, Brenda Snipes would still have her job. Now, if we can pan the crowd here, I want to show you guys how the crowd is filling in here. We've got a very large crowd here. All the people, I would imagine that most of the people that were in line have filed in here, and they're all in here now. We got a nice big crowd out here. You can tell they were energetic, but I can tell that they're conserving that energy. They're conserving it for when President Trump arrives, which is just about 30 minutes from now. Just 30 minutes from now, guys. Now, for those of you that just tuned in, I see we have 39,000 people liking. what we need, or watching. What we need is 39,000 people to like this stream. So please, if you would, give us a thumbs up. Please give us a thumbs up. You can cross over. Yeah, we're live right now.
I was asking who y'all were.
Oh, we're Right Side Broadcasting. Yes. Oh, you're good. You're good. They understand. People recognize us up here. Guys, please give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Support this stream. You know that big tech does not want this getting out. They don't want Right Side Broadcasting to show what actually happens at President Trump's rallies. They don't want you to show the crowd. So they're suppressing the reach of this. Help us win this fight. Circumvent YouTube's oppressive algorithms by giving this stream a thumbs up. Do it right now. Also, share this stream. Share it. Get it on other platforms. Post it to your Facebook. Post it to your Twitter. Post it to whoever, whatever website you can, whatever social media platform you can. Send it to somebody via text message. And subscribe to RSBN. Right now we're at 686,000 subscribers. Let's try to reach 700,000 today. I think we can do it. Subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will not miss a single rally. You'll be notified every single time. Again, if we can throw a graphic up on the screen right now just to show which rallies are coming up, because I don't have them all memorized, but I do know that tomorrow we're in Allentown, Pennsylvania, along with 2 other rallies in Pennsylvania. So 3 stops in PA tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, we are in Michigan, we are in Wisconsin, and we are in Omaha, Nebraska. And I'm hearing rumors that, and it hasn't been announced yet, but I'm hearing rumors that we're headed out west, which would not be a surprise at all if we head out west to Arizona, Nevada, or both. Who knows? He might even make a random stop in Colorado. That'd be great. I'd love it if he could win my home state of Colorado. I spent my whole life in Colorado before moving to Minnesota and then Florida. So that would be my hope. But guys, just know that we will win this fight if you guys are committed to helping us. If you can't donate, the least you can do is hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification. Share it on other social media platforms. Help us be promoted on YouTube's home screen. We got 40,000 people watching. Give us a thumbs up. We need 40,000 likes. If you want to win this fight, if you want President Trump to win re-election, you need to support Right Side Broadcasting. All right, I'm going to hand it back over to Alex here.
And I'd also like to state that you can also follow us on Twitter at RSB Network on Twitter. Again, we're going to give you guys updates from Twitter sometimes. We're going to announce rallies. We're going to tell you who's at the rallies, show you some pictures of the rallies, show you some crowd sizes of the rallies. So please follow us on Twitter at RSB Network. You can also follow me at Real A Caldwell on Twitter. That is Real A Caldwell. Now keep in mind, sometimes when you do look up my name, you don't always get my name in the search results because I don't think Twitter likes me very much. Probably because I'm somewhat conservative. I'm actually very conservative, but I don't think they like me too much. But if you look up Real A Caldwell, you can find me on Twitter. Let's get past 2,000. Let's get to 2,000 followers. You can also follow my buddy Mike here at MikeNificent813 on Twitter. That is MikeNificent813. And I saw earlier today he just passed 13,000 subscribers.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you did. He just over 13,000 subscribers right now. So let's all congratulate Mike. We've got people recognizing us right now in the audience. We've got people yelling, "We love RSBN," saying thank you and waving. And it just goes a long way when you guys come out to these rallies and you express your support. It means so much to us when you recognize us and you say hi to us. It makes us feel very famous. And, you know, I'm still not used to that. I'm still not used to being recognized. I was in Fayetteville yesterday and a woman got out of her car to take a picture with me as she was leaving the rally. And I'm still not used to that. So it's always really fun getting to meet you guys. So if you do see us at a rally, don't be afraid to say hi. Don't be afraid to express your support. We'd love to have you guys come here. And again, I'd like to encourage you all to, please, if you would like to continue to see more of this over the live stream, if you can't make the rallies coming up, because I get it, there's far away sometimes, and maybe you're afraid of catching COVID. You don't want to have the extra exposure. Maybe it's a long day. So if you want to continue to see these rallies on our stream, I do encourage you all to donate again at rsbnetwork.com/donate, or you can mail to us. That is 1550 Opelika Road, spelled O-P-E-L-I-K-A, Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. 888-978-0060. And if you can donate in the YouTube chat as well, that would be fantastic. But do keep in mind they do take 30% of what you donate through the YouTube live chat. So if you would like all of your donation to go to us, I would encourage you all to please donate by mail, or please go to our website at rsbnetwork.com, because keep in mind, it costs $5 to $7 grand to come to one of these rallies. And there's a lot of these coming up. We're going to be having 5 or 6 a day. And as Mike was just saying, he's going to Allentown actually today to do a rally there tomorrow. We have 3 rallies tomorrow in Pennsylvania. We're going to have rallies all across the country coming up this week. We have one in Omaha. We're going to have a lot of them coming up out west. One of the rumors I hear is Arizona, Nevada, maybe Colorado. We're going to have a lot. So it's going to take a lot to get us here. So I encourage you all to please help us out in that regards. But right now, we've got a lot of people. They're getting ready. They're standing up. I think they're all anticipating President Trump. He's supposed to be here in about 21 minutes. It is 12:09 Eastern time here right now in Manchester, New Hampshire. But it is a wonderful, wonderful day out right now. It was really, really cold earlier. We came out here, and it was maybe about 33 degrees when we came out doing our setup. But now it's about close to 50.
It doesn't feel like it with the wind chill. It's a little crazy out here. But moving back to the super chats here. Jewel Ja, thank you for becoming a new member. Applejack says, why are you laughing, Alex? Alex is distracting me. Let me move away from Alex so I can read these super chats. Okay. Applejack says, okay, I can't read that one. Thank you for your super chat, though, Applejack. Appreciate you. Carmen Portella, thank you for your super chat. We also got a super chat from Deborah Warren. Says, new BLM Biden's laptop matters. Yes, I posted that on Facebook the other day. They shouldn't have let me back on that platform, man. Facebook is where I have a tremendous reach, and I will be going live on there at some point when I get some downtime here. But yes, I posted that. BLM, the new BLM is Biden's laptop matters. Tell a friend, guys. Biden's laptop matters. We got another super chat here from Curly Joe Robbie. Thank you for your super chat. Doc Shrum says, you guys are doing a great job. Greatest president in world history. God bless to him and all of our beautiful patriots. Thank you so much. We also got a new member, Gail Banks. Thank you. And there was another new member, I thought. Maybe I missed it. Edward, thank you for becoming a new member. Larry Ott says, wonderful how many early Democrat voters wish they could take their votes back as more and more evidence of Biden family criminal activity is released. Keep up the good work, RSBN. Yes, we're going to expose Joe Biden and their little crime syndicate they got going on over there. Dennis Cameron, thank you for becoming a new member. P. Lupo, new member. And Ronald Bliss upgraded his membership. Thank you, Ronald. Now, if you do want to become a member, if you're wondering what that is, you can become a member to RSBN if you go to the landing page of our channel and click join. You can become a member. And we have different tiers of membership, and you can read what those are on our main channel. Dale Fior, thank you for your super chat. And I think I'm caught up. I think I read them all. But I want to thank everyone that just tuned in. We've got 41,000 people watching right now. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate every last one of you. Please, if you wouldn't mind, on your way in, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get this on other social media platforms. We have to beat the mainstream media. We have to beat social media. The only way to do that is by you, the viewer. You, the viewer, must like this stream so we can circumvent those algorithms. You must share it so more people tune in, so more people can see what actually happens at President Trump's rallies, who shows up to President Trump's rallies, and you can see the speech start to finish with no spin. You're going to see Air Force One as it arrives. You're going to see President Trump as he exits Air Force One. You're going to see Air Force One leave. And we are the only network that's going to bring you that coverage live. Look at our audience here. Look at how much they love us. Look at our fans. We love our fans. They are amazing. And you, the viewer, are amazing. We bring this to you live, so share this with people. Help us get over that hump. We're independent media that's been around from 2015, showing President Trump's rallies, and we're only growing. We're only getting bigger. We're only getting better. We are the future. New age media. We're going to supplant and upend the mainstream media establishment that has been controlling the information highway as they're chanting 4 more years here. We love to see it. So guys, please go to rsbnetwork.com/donate if you want to support us there. Or you can donate via Super Chat. If you're watching on YouTube, in the bottom right-hand corner, just click on that little $sign. You can mail a check to our physical address, which is 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. And again, if you want, support us by just simply subscribing to RSBN, hitting the bell notification, liking this stream and sharing it, get it on other platforms, send it to family and friends. Also, guys, follow us on Twitter. I feel like we should have, like, at minimum 500,000 Twitter followers. We have a decent amount, but I think we can grow that. So, guys, please follow us on Twitter. We do a lot of tweets. This is where you're going to see, like, us tweeting out the line and other things. We'll tweet out little interviews, little small clips that we find or, we get at these rallies. So follow us on Twitter. Support us on all other social media. We do have a presence on all the platforms, really. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. I believe we're on Parler. Just search RSBN or RSB Network. If you type that in Google, I'm pretty sure that'll bring up, like, all of our stuff.
Thank you very much, Mike. Yes, please do follow us on Twitter. You can follow my friend Mike here at MikeNificent813. He just got over 13,000 followers on Twitter, so congratulations, Mike. You are very Mike-nificent, if I might say so myself.
Over here. Thank you.
And you can also follow me at Real A Caldwell on Twitter, Real A Caldwell. Let's get to 2,000 followers today, guys. I think it can happen. But right now, we got a big crowd gearing up. Right now, a lot of people still coming in. It's a big day today. A lot of people coming in. They're saying that President Trump has no chance to win New Hampshire. He can't do it. And they said that 4 years ago, and he's the president right now. But a lot of people coming into New Hampshire, a state that is in play for electoral votes. They've got a Republican governor, and they've got 2 Democrat senators. Jian Shaheen is running for a 3rd term for the U.S. Senate. She is a Democrat running against Corky Messner, who was speaking earlier today to all of his supporters here in the crowd. Corky Messner running for the United States Senate for the Republican Party and has been endorsed, actually, by President Trump. But right now, you can see a lot of people are standing up. They're awaiting President Trump, who is expected to speak here now at 12:30. So about 14 minutes from now, it is 12:16 here in Manchester, New Hampshire, Eastern Time. But it is getting ready. People are gearing up. There is a lot of energy here, guys. A rather cold day, and people were here. It was almost in the 20s earlier. So it was in the very low 30s, but people were lined up here. We came here. We were here at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and there were people lined up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we came back, and the line was massive. So we went through and we did a time-lapse video of that line because it was incredible. It was massive. And I said, there is no way that Biden is winning the state by 11 points. There is no way. Judging from that line, walking through and seeing that line, this massive line that we could not have, and there was no end to it in sight. We tried to find the beginning of it. It took a really long time, a really, really long time to walk there, and we walked through there. And you can find that on our Twitter at RSB Network, our Twitter page. We have the video of that time lapse on there for you all to watch. But I am excited to see Air Force One fly in today. I'm hoping we get to see Air Force One fly in today. Of course, we are at the airport here in Manchester, New Hampshire, so it would be a little bit odd to not see it fly in. We've got a big runway here. It is a fairly big airport, so it'll be nice to see Air Force One fly in. There really is nothing like watching it fly in because it is such a massive plane. I've been on a lot of planes in my lifetime. I've seen a lot of planes flying in. None of them are ever as big as Air Force One. None of them make you feel the things you feel when you see it. Looking at Air Force One, it takes your breath away. And seeing the president step out, walking down those stairs, listening to Proud to be an American, there is nothing like it, guys. I encourage you all to please try come to a rally if you can, because President Trump is going to be having a lot of these. 5 to 6 a day, guys, keep in mind. He's going to be having a lot of these rallies, so I encourage you all to come. And if you can't come, please watch us on YouTube and give us a like, subscribe to us, so that you can still get notifications, so that you know when we're posting things. You can follow us on our Twitter. We'll tell you guys when we're having rallies, so you can follow us there, and you'll be able to keep up with what we are doing. Now, sometimes we don't always show up in the YouTube search results. It's a little bit difficult, so you guys really do need to pay attention. Turn that notification on give us a like, and subscribe to us so that you know when we're having these rallies come up, because that's what you face sometimes when you're big tech. I was telling people earlier, because they always ask, why can't we play the songs? Why can't we have people listen to the songs that are on at these rallies? Because I really do enjoy the music that's played here, but we can't. We can't, because we'll be copyrighted, our video will be taken down, and we don't want our videos to be taken down. We want to deliver content right to you guys. So I hope you all can understand that. I hope you guys can appreciate that. And that's why we're not allowed to do it, and it's really sad that we can't, but that's what you face when you're up against big tech. We're not running with the resources that those big guys have, which is why it's so important that you guys can donate to us so that we can continue to come here. We don't have those resources that the other guys have. We do our best. We try to come to every single rally, and we're going to try our best to hit every single President Trump rally from now until Election Day. And that's going to be a lot, 5 to 6 a day. And it's about $5,000 to $7,000 to go to each one of these rallies. So I do encourage you all, please go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. You can also mail a donation to us at 1550 Opelika Road, spelled O-P-E-L-I-K-A, Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830, to help us continue to go to these rallies, because quite frankly, without you guys, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to get where we are today without you all. So I'm going to pass it off to Mike right now. The microphone's getting a little bit cold.
Is it getting cold?
A little bit.
Yeah, we gotta transition here. We gotta take turns here. I'm just gonna interact with you guys here. We're about 10 minutes away from President Trump's arrival. However, we just saw a plane take off, which would indicate that they have not cleared the airways. So I don't know. It could just be that maybe he's running behind a little bit. Hopefully not too much, but nonetheless, we got an eager crowd of President Trump supporters here in Manchester, New Hampshire. It has warmed up quite a bit. It's noticeable, at least. My hands aren't as cold as they were about 2 hours ago. When we first got here, we had a crazy wind chill, but we're doing fine right now. So yeah, we're just going to wait it out. President Trump should be arriving shortly, hopefully sooner than later, but we're about 10 minutes away from when he was scheduled to speak at 12:30 Eastern time. So we'll just kind of see what's going on. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep interacting with the chat here. MEC Burton says, "Teachers for Trump teaching kids 1776 forever." Oh, and before I forget, when we were walking up and we got a video of the line, we saw Armenians for Trump out there. There was probably about 10 or 15 of them standing up outside, and there have been a lot of them. That Armenians for Trump movement is really growing. Just a side note, just something I thought about randomly here. We got a couple new members. They don't have names, but we appreciate you becoming new members. And we've got another super chat. 1966 Muskie says, "Shout out to my girl Charity, love you." And Valiant Life, thank you for your super chat. The Basket Maker's Wife says, "Hi Joan and Bob in New Hampshire from your daughter in Tennessee." We've also got MIMI with a $300 super chat. Thank you very much. God bless you. Michael Odell, thank you for your super chat. Paul Santiago says, RSBN, the best Trump coverage anywhere. Thank you for the excellent coverage of our greatest president ever. California is going blue. I hope you mean that California is going red. If California goes any more blue, China might just absorb it at that point. Hippie Chick is me says, "I'm so proud of you young men. You give me hope that these liberal colleges aren't succeeding with their brainwashing efforts. I do not know how I dodged that toxic propaganda, but I did. It didn't really work on me." Jay Light says, "Keep up the great work." And Jin Oyang says, "Go Trump, Trump 2020 landslide." On paper, it should absolutely be a landslide. It should be a landslide on paper, Alex.
It should be. It really should be. You know what? I think we have a real opportunity to make this election a landslide. If the polls swing the way that they did in 2016, if each state where the polls are right now swing as much as they did from 2016, he wins. He wins this election hands down. I think the one state he loses is maybe Georgia and maybe Arizona, but I think he's going to hold Georgia. I can't see how that state would flip this time around. I can't see Arizona flipping this time around. And you know what? I think he's going to win Minnesota, your former home state of Minnesota. I think we're going to win a seat in the Senate in Minnesota with Jason Lewis. I think we're going to win Michigan with John James in the U.S. Senate. I think President Trump will hold that state of Michigan. I think we're going to win Arizona, and I think we're going to win Nevada, and I think we're going to win the great state of New Hampshire. Judging from this massive crowd behind me, so many people here. They're saying Biden's ahead 11 points in the Real Clear Politics average, that President Trump cannot win New Hampshire. I don't see it. I don't see Trump losing New Hampshire 11 points. I don't see it. I can't see Biden. Why would you vote for Biden? Why would you? What does he have to offer? President Trump has done more in almost 4 years than Joe Biden has ever done in 47 years.
Well, Joe Biden said he's going to cut the malarkey and build back better, Alex.
Build back better? They're the party that's been burning everything down. You mean build back what they burned down? Okay, maybe. But I doubt that, because it's going to cost a lot of money. And Joe Biden, quite frankly, doesn't have the capacity to handle an entire nation. Like you were saying earlier, he has said several times now he's running for the United States Senate. He doesn't even know what office he's running for. Why is he qualified to be president? He's been vice president for 8 years. He's saying he's going to do all of these things. He was a senator for how many years? He was vice president for 8 years. He's saying that he was going to get prison reform done when he was vice president. But he couldn't because he had a Republican House. Well, he had a massive majority in the House when he first got elected for the vice president, a massive majority in the Senate, and then right afterwards they had a Republican House, but they still had a Democrat Senate, but he never bothered to work with the Republicans. President Trump got it passed. 358 people in the House voted for the First Step Act. President Trump reached across the aisle. He worked with the Democrats, and he got it done. Joe Biden, he says he's a unifier. He can't even unify with the House. He says that 10 to 15% of Americans are just not good people. He says that if you don't vote for him and you're black, you ain't black. He's not a uniter, he's a divider.
Yeah, and speaking of President Trump's accomplishments, you said, Joe Biden has been in politics for basically half a century and nothing to show for it except a job for his son in the 1994 crime bill. He also sent our jobs overseas, voted for all these wars, sent troops overseas. What do you think about this? President Trump has done so much in 4 years, he makes it look easy. He makes you wonder, what were these other politicians like Joe Biden, like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer and the rest, what were they doing this entire time? If President Trump could get so much done in 4 years, it makes you wonder, what have they really been doing all these years? When is this man going to get a Nobel Peace Prize? I mean, you got Sudan and Israel normalizing relations now. Not only has he not started a war, he is brokering peace. He's bringing troops home. If that isn't enough reason to vote for the man, you must like war. I just don't understand it. I mean, literally, the first president in our lifetimes to not start a war. And not only that, he's bringing peace to the Middle East, which politicians have been talking forever. That's one of their favorite slogans or their favorite platitudes, to talk about peace in the Middle East. In reality, what they've done is destabilize the Middle East, cause more war, more turmoil, more poverty and despair in the Middle East. So President Trump is doing amazing things on the foreign policy front, doing amazing things on the American front, just the greatest president of our lifetime. And it shows if you look at the numbers, if you look at the crowds. One thing I want to talk about with the polls, what do you think about people like Ben Shapiro? I listen to Ben Shapiro. I respect his opinion. I think he's articulate, he's smart, he's bright. What do you think about some of the conservatives that actually believe the polls and they take the polls more seriously? Because Ben Shapiro tends to think that the polls are an indicator that President Trump is on his way to losing this election.
Well, last time the polls were an indicator that Hillary Clinton was going to win this landslide by a margin we haven't seen in a very, very long time, and that's not the case. They said he couldn't win the Rust Belt. He won the Rust Belt. She didn't even campaign in Wisconsin because she thought she had it in the bag. And he won Wisconsin. They call it on election night. Wolf Blitzer looking very somber when he did it, but they never thought this was going to happen. Ben Shapiro didn't think President Trump was going to win the first time. He didn't even vote for President Trump the first time. Now, I respect Ben Shapiro a lot. I think he's a great guy. I listen to him a lot. But I think he was wrong on that. He even admits he was wrong on that. And I think that this time, too, the polls are very, very wrong. But that doesn't mean that we should be ignorant. That doesn't mean that we should just think, oh, it's wrong, so we'll be okay. He'll win in a landslide. That means we need to vote. We need to vote. We need to go out and vote. We need to encourage people to vote. That's what we need to do. And now on to what you were talking about with foreign policy. I think you're entirely right. We've got maybe Air Force. Is that Air Force One coming in? That might be Air Force One flying up there right now. That could possibly be Air Force One from a distance right now. But that I would not be stopped right now at all. But a truly fantastic sight. But back onto what you were saying with foreign policy. I agree with you entirely. The Democrats have been getting into, even the Republicans, getting us into endless wars with no end in sight over oil, over energy. And Joe Biden in the debate, he makes an argument. He says, look around your dinner table at how many people aren't there. Is there an empty seat there because of COVID? When you're in bed and you reach over because you're looking for your significant other and they're not there because they died of COVID. That's President Trump's fault. Blaming him for a virus that was China's fault, it's not President Trump's fault. But I want to ask Biden, how many people have to sit at the table every single day and there's an empty seat because a loved one died in a war over energy that Joe Biden voted for? How many people reach over in bed and their husband or their wife isn't there because they died in a war that Joe Biden voted for? All of these years, 47 years in power. He wants to make an argument like that? Let's talk about his record. Let's talk about his record voting for endless wars, killing thousands of Americans overseas in wars over energy, where President Trump has made us energy independent, and Biden wants to get rid of that. No more fracking, no more oil, no more natural gas. Gone. The Green New Deal, which he says he doesn't support, but it's on his website, gone. All of your energy jobs gone. And guess where we're getting oil? Because we can't just do solar, we can't just do wind. At some point, we can't get it. So what do? We go fight endless wars in another country. And that's what we're voting for. We have either Biden, who's going to get us into more wars, we're going to lose our energy, jobs will be decimated, and America will be unrecognizable, or you can vote for 4 more years of prosperity, 4 more years of peace, and 4 more years of a booming economy and record jobs.
Look, Fat. Look, here's the deal. Joe Biden, to blame all of the deaths during COVID on President Trump is so dishonest. I mean, does that mean that Justin Trudeau is responsible for every death in Canada? Is Emmanuel Macron responsible for every death in France? Of course not. It was a pandemic that was worldwide. And President Trump was so smart to point that out during the debate because he knew that Joe Biden was going to blame him for every death. And then also, Joe Biden said that if he's elected president, he's going to pass a federal mandate on COVID-19 masks, and he's going to make it nationwide. And Dr. Fauci, who's supposedly a part of President Trump's administration, is supporting that. The same Dr. Fauci that said just at the beginning of the year that masks aren't effective. So Joe Biden doesn't follow the science at all. He says he's going to crush the virus. He said he's not going to shut down the economy. He's going to shut down the virus. One point, Joe Biden even said that he would cure cancer if he was elected president. So you have to be elected president to do something good? Mr. I'm going to cure cancer if you just elect me. Mr. I'm going to crush the virus if I'm elected. Science doesn't work that way. But Joe Biden thinks he champions science. These people are just so dishonest, man, in politics. And I love that President Trump exposed that during the debate. He said, look at that typical politician answer. He had Joe Biden on the ropes, and I think he delivered the knockout blow. And we're going to see that. The polls have tightened, and we're going to see that. Guys, we're just minutes away here. Minutes away. We do believe that Air Force One, we do believe that we just saw it. So before Air Force One does arrive and this crowd erupts, I'm going to tell you one more time that we're almost entirely viewer funded. Please go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. President Trump will be in Allentown, Pennsylvania tomorrow, as well as 2 other locations in Pennsylvania. And then we'll scoot over here so we can get Air Force One as it arrives. We're bringing it to you live here. You must support us here. Independent media that's going to show you the crowd, going to show you the Pledge of Allegiance, the national anthem, all the speakers, President Trump's speech, start to finish with no spin. We are going to run circles around the mainstream media. Support this independent media company as we are just 9 days away from President Trump's re-election. The stakes could not. Please support us here at rsbnetwork.com/donate. rsbnetwork.com/donate. Also, you can support us via Super Chat. If you go to the bottom right-hand corner on YouTube and click the little $sign, you can donate there. Mail a check to our physical address, 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. And ladies and gentlemen, The Eagle has landed. President Trump has arrived in Manchester, New Hampshire. And this crowd is fired up. The crowd has erupted. President Trump has made his arrival here. And we're just a few minutes behind the behind the time. Oh, and it looks like we time traveled here. Apparently we're in black and white, guys. So just thank you so much for bearing with us as we deal with this technical difficulty here. I mean, for whatever reason, we're in black and white. You know, I think the Democrats did this, honestly. Anything that goes wrong, I'm thinking the Democrats probably did it. Apparently our stream is in black and white. You know, we're traveling back in time. We're living in the past momentarily, kind of like how the Democrats are doing. But we're working on this, guys. Bear with us while we work on this. We also are having issues with internet right now. Let's see here. Let's read some more of these super chats while we're dealing with this little momentary issue. I see we got 54,000 people watching. So what I would like is for 54,000 of you to give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up. Share this stream. Send it to your friends and family. Put it on different social media platforms. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Facebook. It looks like we got the color back. I see we have the color back. I think we're in good shape. But I did get word that we were in black and white momentarily. Nonetheless, there are several ways that you can support this movement, this patriotic movement, this patriotic resurgence, this great American comeback in the United States of America. The best way you can do that is support independent media. Right Side Broadcasting Network. We've been covering President Trump's rallies since 2015. And we're going to continue doing this until 2024 and beyond, but only with your support. Follow us on Twitter, RSB Network. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. Subscribe to us here on YouTube, as we will bring you live coverage of every single one of President Trump's rallies leading up to the November 3rd election. 9 days away, guys. Please support RSB Network. Go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. Subscribe and hit the bell notification. LD, thank you for your super chat, LD. Linda Barton became a new member. Tia Marie upgraded her membership. Thank you, Tia. We appreciate you. Prax ESU, I think I said that right. It says Trump 2020. And Daniel DeJesus says, we, the DeJesus family, love the way you speak the truth with no filter and always with God's willing. Viva Trump 2020. Let me tell you something, Daniel. The reason why we're able to do this is because we are viewer funded. We do not have some big billionaire donor dictating our message in the direction of our content. And that's the beauty of it. We would like to stay viewer funded. So this is your network. Your donations allow us to speak truth to power, unfiltered. You're not going to get that from mainstream media. You're not going to get that from Fox News. Fox News has moved to the left. Who can deny this? Who can deny that Fox News has veered to the left? When Newt Gingrich can't tell the truth on there. When they're censoring people. When they suspended Judge Jeanine last year or the year before. Who remembers that? They suspended Judge Jeanine for telling the truth. That's not going to happen over here. That's because you, the viewers, support us and keep this movement going. If you care about this country, continue to support Right Side Broadcasting. Tom says Gab.com has the Hunter Biden laptop leaks on the site and not censored. Alex, you want to read a few super chats here?
Of course.
Somewhere in the middle.
All right. So from Bridget Newby says, we love President Trump with all our hearts. Well, Bridget, we love President Trump with all our hearts too. I mean, who doesn't love President Trump? What's not to love about him? Thank you, Eric Knudsen, for your donation as well. And from Tom Maserio, he says that the Hunter Biden laptop is on a site and there's stuff on there that can't be censored. From Raj Rubin, he says, welcome to Lincoln Club member. And Corey Harrell says, let's go Trump. Let's go Trump, indeed. And I read that one already. And Carl Peterson says, welcome to Trump Club member. And Carol says, WWG1WGA, God bless our president, Donald John Trump, and his family and administration. Wow. We can see Air Force One's really getting over here, guys. You can see the steam coming right off it. My goodness, what a beautiful, beautiful sight right now. It's a little bit hard to always see it sometimes. Sometimes you got a lot of people up here in the risers. There's a lot of people in the media, so sometimes it's a little difficult to see it, but we do our best to show you guys the full shot of it. But what a beautiful, beautiful plane that is. My goodness, what a beautiful sight to see in any moment now. Oh, wow, I've never even noticed that presidential seal on the bottom of before. You learn more about this plane every single time you see it, but oh my goodness.
Closest I've ever been to it.
Same. Oh my gosh, it's even bigger up close. Oh my goodness. That is such a beautiful plane, and it looks like he's going to be coming out right there. It's stopping right there. But we'll get to see the president, the 45th president of the United States, Donald John Trump, walk out of Air Force One here in Manchester, New Hampshire, to speak to all of his supporters here today at a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful protest. But people are really getting excited, and we can see the stairs are being moved over. They're being wheeled over to Air Force One. And they're putting the brakes on the plane. We wouldn't want it to roll away. That'd be a little bit disaster. That'd be a bit of a disaster, but you got to do what you got to do to keep the plane from doing that. But we can see some doors starting to open up a little bit towards the bottom. And what a beautiful plane. What a beautiful, beautiful aircraft. It's a little bit hard to see, guys, around here, so we do apologize for that. It is rather cramped up here. It is rather crowded, but we do our best with what we have, trying to get you guys the best coverage that we can provide, because nobody else up here is going to be fair. But we will. We will always be fair, and we will always tell you guys what's happening. I always say our job is easy, because all we got to do is we got to show you guys the crowd, and we got to tell it like it is. We tell you guys what we're seeing in the audience. We don't lie. We don't make something out to be what it's not for the purpose of an agenda. We tell you guys exactly how it is. And that's what I believe journalism should be. But far too often, you get people with an agenda. And that's not right. So we do our best to be fair, and we do our best to show you guys what's happening without a filter, without the filter of the mainstream media, and without them telling you what you should think. But what a beautiful sight. We've got a lot of people coming off of that plane. It's a little hard. It looks like it's a little bit of Secret Service and some press right now. Nobody I recognize so far, but a lot of Secret Service, a lot of press coming out right now. It would be amazing if we were able to get on there someday. Oh, it would be fantastic. I would love to be inside that plane. What a beautiful sight. And President Trump always says there's so many TVs in Air Force One. They've got them in the closet. They've got them on the floor. They've got them on the ceiling. They're everywhere. So if you are a TV lover, you would love to probably run out of room on Air Force One. I don't think they would do that, but that would be wonderful. So if you really love TV, run for president, because you could be on Air Force One. But we can see the stairs coming up to the front door right now where President Trump is going to be coming out. We'll get to see President Trump step out of Air Force One, and I do love when I see him step out of that plane, because it is so wonderful seeing a president step out of Air Force One. What a beautiful sight to see. But people are all standing up around here. It's very silent. They're all waiting for him to come out. There were cheers a few minutes ago, and there were a lot of cheers, a lot of yang, a lot of wooing. Right now, it is dead silent other than the music that is playing. But if you didn't hear the music, you could hear a pin drop in here right now. People are just that excited, and anticipation here is massive, just waiting for the president. They've all got their phones up, taking pictures of the president. I'm sure that when we start filming him, I'll get my phone out, I'll take a few pictures of the president, because who wouldn't want to have pictures of memories such as this? What a wonderful, wonderful time to be alive right now. Just think, you are alive during President Trump. How blessed you are to be alive for President Trump, be in that lifetime. And hey, I'd just love to thank Barack Obama personally, because without him, we would not have President Trump. We'd have no President Trump. We'd have maybe Rhino Mitt Romney or somebody else. They wouldn't do the job that Trump does. They wouldn't keep the promises that he's made and the promises that he's kept. He wouldn't do that. But President Trump has done that. And I'd just like to extend a courtesy to Barack Obama and thank him so much for giving us President Trump. Because without him, our country would not be where it is today. We would not have made America great again without President Trump. And right now, he's making it great again. He brought our economy back. Record job growth. Obama said those jobs couldn't come back. You need a magic wand, but he's brought them back. He's brought them back, and they're back. And President Trump making the stock market great again. Fixing immigration, fixing prison reform. He has done what he has said he is going to do. Now, looks like he'll be out shortly. Just waiting for him out here. They've got the presidential seal up on the podium. It is so wonderful. It's a little bit sad not seeing him up there, but it'll be such an amazing shot to see him up at the front of the podium. What a sight to see. And guys, I'd just like to remind you guys all, if you'd like to see more of this, I do encourage you all to donate it again to rsbnetwork.com/donate, because we're the only network who is going to film the crowd, that is going to do interviews with people and actually tell it like it is. And we've got a lot of these rallies coming up, 5,000 to 7,000 a rally to do this. It is a hard thing to do, but I encourage you all, please go to our website, rsbnetwork.com/donate. You can also donate through the YouTube live chat, but do keep in mind they take 30% of it. So if you don't want 30% going to YouTube, I encourage you all to use our website, or you can donate by mail at 1550 Opelika Road, spelled Opelika, Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. So please mail donation to us, or please go to our website at rsbnetwork.com/donate, because it is so important that we get out to these rallies. We're going to be having 5 or 6 a day, guys. We're going to try to hit them every day, every rally that he has coming up. We are going to be there. You are going to see us there live. All of our reporters there live. You can catch us on election night as well, but be prepared. You have got a busy week ahead of you guys watching our rallies on rsbnetwork.com. And if you can, try to come out to one of these rallies, because they're historic and they're wonderful and they're a great place to come. I've made so many memories here being at these rallies, and it is such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. I do encourage you all to please follow us on Twitter as well at RSB Network. We'll post you guys updates. We'll tell you guys when we've got rallies, where we're going to be, who's going to be there, all of the fun stuff that you can see on our Twitter, all of the informative stuff, so that you guys can keep updated with us. So I encourage you all, please follow our Twitter at RSB Network. You can also follow me at Real A Caldwell on Twitter. Let's get past 2,000. Let's get to 2,000 on my Twitter. 2,000 followers. Let's get Mike Nificent some more followers here as well. Mike Nificent 813. You can follow him on Twitter at Mike Nificent 813 on Twitter as well. Mike Nificent 813. Real Alex Caldwell. Real Alex Caldwell and RSB Network on Twitter. And on our Twitter as well, you can see the video we posted earlier from outside. We could see the crowd all lined up about a couple miles long. We saw people lined up. They had been out there at least since 6 in the morning when we got here, maybe even earlier, but we saw them standing out there this morning very early, and it was very cold. We did an entire time lapse of the line at about 10 a.m., and people were still coming in at about 10 a.m. We weren't quite inside yet. President Trump wasn't supposed to speak until 12:30. Right now it is 12:47, but they were lined up 2 hours beforehand, and we still had people coming in, and the line was absolutely massive, and there were 2 hours to go where they were still letting in more and more people, and it looks like about everybody got inside today. It is a massive, massive rally. The overflow crowd is substantial.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What a group. What a group. We love this place. This was my first victory, right? This was our first victory. Remember that beautiful primary that we had, and Trump came in and Trump won this incredible, great state, and it was off to the races, right? Off to the races. So I want to thank you, and hello, New Hampshire. It's great to be with you on this beautiful day. On this beautiful day. 9 days from now, we are going to win the state. Can you believe 9 days? And we're going to win 4 more great years in the White House. We're going to keep it going. This is the most important election in the history of our country. The most important election. And I never thought I'd say it after what we went through with the last one 4 years ago. This is a more important election, because we're fighting people that we've got to end it. We've got to end the fight. We've got to put them down. We've got to end the fight. Our country will never be a socialist country. We have to end the fight once and for all. For the last half century, sleepy Joe Biden has been outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in the endless, horrible, ridiculous foreign wars. Afghanistan, 19 years. 19 years. He voted for the war in Iraq, but for himself, did you know today? You know what happened, right? He put the lid on. You know what the lid is? He's constantly putting the lid on. Constantly putting the lid on. The lid means, I guess it's referring to a garbage can, right? You put the lid. And he's putting the lid on. This guy has more lids. I don't know. There's something going on. Somebody said it's strategy. It's not, because really strategy would be coming out. And by the way, a lot of things are happening lately. Have you been noticing? Have you been noticing? I just was asking some people to go back to the fake news and go to the back of the plane. A lot of people up there. A lot of cameras. And I was saying, and I wish those cameras would show behind the cameras. There are thousands of people there, and thousands of people outside on the street. Thousands. There are thousands of people outside, but have you been noticing what's been happening? People know we've done a great job. So what's going to happen? This is going to be as exciting, maybe, I don't know, you can't say more exciting. You remember that beautiful night in November 4 years ago, right?
Well, I don't think this one will be as close. I don't think this is going to be as close. Thank you. Thank you. No, that's a chant. In all fairness, I said, has anyone in the history of politics, think about it, Ronald Reagan was popular, but they never had that chant. That is a chant. I won't even say it because I don't want to cry. But Ronald Reagan never had that chant. Nobody's ever had that chant. And you see what we go through. It's a tough thing. The swamp is deep and it's vicious. These people are vicious. These people don't report the truth. It's very hard. They don't report the truth. So, for instance, I asked them, would you please turn the cameras around? They don't do that. They never do. They have this shot all the time. I don't have that big an ego. I don't want that shot. They have this shot. You know what they show? They show myself and about 5 people back there. And on occasion, some of the people back there become big stars because they are on camera. But they never move the camera, and I used to think it was the way it is. You know, you couldn't move it. Mechanically, you couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden, we don't see that anymore. I shouldn't say it, but we don't see it anymore. They used to have little fights, right? Little problem. And the camera used to turn like a pretzel to catch it because they viewed that as a bad thing, right? A bad thing. And that camera would turn around, that steel would turn like there's nothing to it, but they never show the crowds. But you know what? They don't show Biden's crowd when 7 people show up. And you know what? They don't show Barack Hussein Obama. He came out to campaign 2 days ago. Right? And they had 42 people. He drew flies. Did you ever hear the expression? Obama drew flies. But they don't show that. But we want them to show our crowds because there's never been anybody, and this is us as a group, anybody, any group, any movement that's ever gotten the kind of crowds that we have. And I was told about New Hampshire. I understand you have a lot of friends that live up here, but I understand New Hampshire. I was told in New Hampshire, you can't have big crowds. You have to go to everybody's dining room and have dinner with them. This was even as I was campaigning, you know, I said, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. You got to get together and all. And, you know, you have guys that have nothing much to do. They're politicians, and they'll go and have dinner with 2 or 3 people and every night, and they'll do this for years. And then they come in, you know, 7th in the primary or something. I said, no, we got to do this. And we've been doing this from the beginning. You have the good arena that holds a lot of people, and we pack that all the time. But now with the COVID, what we do, and, you know, they keep talking about cases. You know why we have cases so much? Because that's all we do is test. If we cut our testing down in half, they'd say, well, they wouldn't say that, but cases would go down in half. Now we have the best testing, and we are coming around. We're rounding the turn. We have the vaccines. We have everything. We're rounding the turn. Even without the vaccines, we're rounding the turn. It's going to be over. And you know who got it? I did. Can you believe it? Every time I'd have these meetings, a lot of people, because I can't put myself in a basement for the next year and a half. Okay, I can't do it. No, I can't. Or I can't go to a beautiful bedroom in the White House and lock myself up for a year and a half. You're president. You have to do your job. And I'd have meetings, and I'd leave meetings. And I'd leave a meeting, and I'd say, that wasn't good. You know, there are a lot of people, and there's a lot of love in the rooms a lot of times. A lot of times there's no love at all, just the opposite. But I'd say, that might not be good. But you got to do your job. And I went, and what they do is incredible. The doctors are incredible, and especially when you're president, because you have more doctors. I mean, I think I don't know if I could ever get used to this again, going back to a normal where you actually have one doctor. You have a doctor for every single part of your body. Sure. And they want to touch you, too. They want to grab you. They, sir, I'm a specialist in this. Could I check this? I said, I'd prefer not.
But, you know, I didn't feel good, and wonderful doctors. Sean, White House doctors, terrific. They're all really talented people, but I had 12 of them, literally 12. Johns Hopkins. I had doctors from the best schools and best hospitals in the world, because you're president, right? And I said, I'm not feeling too good, fellas. What are we going to do here? And the following morning, I took something called Regeneron. The following morning, I felt so good. I felt like Superman. I wanted to get back. I didn't want to cancel anything. Now, we didn't want to be canceled. We didn't want to be canceling a lot of things, right? We didn't want to say, I'm going to take the next like Biden. I mean, I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. He never goes anywhere. And when he does, it's Delaware. Now, I like Delaware, too, but, you know, he just wants to stay right next to that house. He feels very uncomfortable. Yesterday, he did some kind of a crazy rally with the horns, right? And then the camera made a terrible mistake. The guy's going to get fired, I'm sure. Because the camera turned around and there was nobody there. And then he got very agitated, right? You saw that. Because you know who was there? Our people were there, right? And they were screaming, and he can't think too well. He was having a hard time. And he got very angry. And Obama got angry, too, because he went out someplace, and it was all our people. And today they're having this incredible rally on Long Island. You know, what's happened to New York is so sad with the crime. Democrat run. Only Democrat run. Where you have Democrat run, you have problems. You have crime. It's all closed up in many cases. Locked down. By the way, you have an excellent governor here, right? You have an excellent governor. Can I say that? Good. Sometimes I'll say that and people don't like it, but you do. You have a good governor, good guy. And he's with us, and the family is good. And his father's great. His father, I'd see that name, Sununu, I say, man, he was brutal. He was tough. And once we won, there was nobody better than him. There was nobody rougher, and there was nobody better. But it's a good family. They really are. They've done a good job, and you're open up, and you're doing business, and here we are. But Biden has the lid on again. It's really... I guess he figures if he keeps the lid on, he's not going to make a stupid statement. He made one yesterday. Yesterday he said, I'm getting tired of smart people. No, you got to like smart. Right? He said that. Then he said something much worse, right? He talked about the fact that we have the most corrupt. He didn't mean that. But I think maybe we'll put a clip up. We have a new deal. If we like people, oh, there it is. See that little screen? That costs a lot of money. And if we like you, like we do the great state of New Hampshire, if we like you like we do New Hampshire, we put that up. And we have a couple of little clips like he's against Social Security, little things like that. How about his oil comment? And I said, it took all the way to the end. He was doing okay. I wouldn't say it was Winston Churchill, but he was doing all right. He was getting through it, and then all of a sudden it came out, the oil. And he wants to transition. I said, okay, are you listening, Texas? Are you listening, Pennsylvania? Actually, are you listening? You know why? Because your bills, because of New York, you have the highest energy bills in the country. New Hampshire, all of New England. Because they won't allow, we're going to do it anyway, but they won't allow a pipeline to go through New York up to New England. You know that, right? And because of that, and all it would do is cause jobs, because upstate New York has been an economic disaster under Cuomo. And people are leaving. But think of it, a pipeline that nobody would see, way underground, would reduce your energy costs by 50, 60, 70%. And Governor Cuomo won't allow it. So we're having a little bit of a dispute. This should have been done years ago. I get stuck with everything, I get stuck. But we'll get it done. If we do that, we can get your energy costs down 50, 60%. So it means a lot to everybody. Sleepy Joe, and they are going to... Are you turning the cameras around? Could I ask you to turn? Because you have never seen... People don't even believe it. People don't even look at him. Look at him. People don't even believe it. I only get disappointed because, honestly, the media, the fake news, is too close to me. If they were further back, we'd get more people up here, my people. I'm saying this to my representatives. If they move that back, they have magnifying lenses that are very good. If you move them back, you could have people, they wouldn't be blocked out by the fake news. Our lives are blocked out by the fake news, right? But Sleepy Joe voted for NAFTA, which was the worst thing that ever happened to your state and all of New England more than any place. Your factories are still, some of them, empty. And China's entry into the World Trade Organization. He shuttered your factories, shipped away your industries, and he allowed deadly drugs. One thing I learned more than any other place, New Hampshire drugs. For some reason, you get hit harder than anybody else. We brought it down 19%. We took it down. Now, we got set back because when the plague came in, all of a sudden we're looking at different things. But we got it down 19%. I met with your police. We went to the precincts. For some reason, your drug problem, opioids, everything else, is greater than most other states proportionately. And we focused very hard in New Hampshire. We got it down 19%, coming down. It's coming down further. Had a setback when the plague came in from China. But we got it down to 19, and we're going to get it down a hell of a lot lower than 19 before we're finished, believe me. And he allowed drugs, deadly drugs, really deadly drugs, opioids and fentanyl to pour across our borders and flood into your schools and your towns and communities. And more in New Hampshire proportionately, as I said, than any other place. In 2016, you voted to fire the depraved political establishment, and you elected an outsider as your president who is finally putting America first. This is not the crowd that comes in second, okay? You know, when you leave, it's like a poll, right? Except much more accurate. When you leave a place like this where you have thousands and thousands of people and more people than all of this outside, unfortunately, can't get in, which I feel badly about. We put speakers out there, but they can't get in. But when you leave, you say, this is not a state where you're going to come in second. It's just not, because come in second. If Joe came in, even if he came in that beautiful Air Force One, is that beautiful? You know, I'll tell you quick. Should we tell? We have plenty of time today, right? Like, is there any football game? We don't watch football as much anymore, right? Until they stand and honor our country, we don't care.
Hey, y'all. We're Diamond and Silk.
When I first came in, I said, how old is Air Force One? Now, we have the greatest people in the world in our military. They're incredible. Look at the condition. That plane looks like it's 2 days old, right? But it's 30 years. Can you believe it? So I said, so what's going on? Well, they're negotiating with one, and they signed a contract for $5.7 billion. It's actually 2 planes. People don't realize this. Air Force One is 2 planes, okay? You always have 2. You're very spoiled when you have this job. I guess they figure if it's ever a little bit off or a little broken, you just rip out the second one for $2.5 billion. But it's a most incredible machine. So anyway, so I said, well, but 30 years is a long time. I'm not talking about for me. I'm talking it's a long time. And I'm good at airplanes, okay? Been very good at airplanes. I said, so what's the price? $5.7 billion. I said, you got to be kidding. For 2 airplanes, okay? I have friends, they order a Gulfstream, and they pay $78 million. I said, half of an engine costs more than that. So 5.7, so I said, I met with the head of Boeing, good man, and I said, this is the first week. I said, we're not going to buy it. Signed contract, all done. $5.7 billion. I said, too much money. We're not buying it. They said, why do you say it's too much? I said, because Obama agreed to it, so it has to be too much. It's the only thing. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. But I knew if they were buying it, it was too much money. So I said, nope, I'm not going to do it. I said, cancel the order. So I went to a general. I said, General, I want to cancel the order. Yes, sir. And I said, why can't we keep using this 30 years, sir? And he's right. Look, planes would come in from especially other countries, but from Arab countries, and it would be a brand new, what's called a 747-800. That's brand new right off the thing. It's actually a much different plane. It's much longer. It's got a much bigger wingspan. You wouldn't believe it. See the top the way it is? It's a much longer top. I hope you people are interested in this. But now, isn't this better than being on a teleprompter, right? No, but see the front. It's got its second floor is much longer. It's as beautiful as that is. It's far more beautiful, bigger, more impressive, more everything, and it's the right thing. So I said, so General, it's a signed contract. I want to terminate the contract. Yes, sir. I said, by the way, you can terminate it, no problem, right? Yes, sir. I'm very proud of it, sir. Good. You don't have to pay anything, do you? Yes, sir, we have a termination fee. Oh. How much is the termination fee, General? Sir, we pay $250 million that we're allowed to terminate the contract. It's $5.7 billion. So for $250 million, I said, wait a minute, General, wait. They haven't built it yet. They haven't even started it yet. We have to pay $250 million to terminate the contract. I don't like that deal, General. General, don't terminate it, because I want to get it. But I don't want to pay $250, and so just don't terminate it. Just tell them we don't want it. Yes, sir. So he told them. Then I told him, I said, nope, I don't want it. And we negotiated for about a month. And I said to the head of Boeing, really good guy, I said, hey, Dennis, look, it's 5.7. It's got to have a 3 in front of it. Now, I don't know anything about them. And it's very, very special what they have in this plane. They don't have in any plane in the world, okay? This is incredible. The kind of equipment. The equipment costs more than the plane. So I said, no, Dennis, it has to have a 3 in front of it. So this has 5.7, a 5. I said, got to have, in other words, we got to skip the 4s. We got to have a 3. No, sir, I can't do it. So then he comes back a couple of weeks later. He takes $100 million off. I said, nope. It's got to have a 3. I said, cancel it. I don't care. Don't cancel it in writing. I said, we don't want the planes. I was very careful. We don't want the planes. Are you canceling the order? I said, no, we don't want the plane. Because I don't want to pay $250 of your money, if you don't mind. And by the way, I could tell you about 300 of these stories, all right? These are stories that are all different things. This one, I just see the plane sitting there so beautiful. So I said, no, we don't want the plane. Now, I can't really go to Europe and order the comparable plane because there is no comparable plane, but I can. I can't say I'm going to buy it in Europe. I'm going to buy Air Force One in Europe. Somehow that doesn't work, so I can't. I said, no, we're going to get used to this. We're going to have this plane. We'll fix it up. It'll be just fine. So time goes by, and they raise it. They bring it down another couple of hundred. They bring it down another couple, and then all of a sudden it started dropping like a rock. And we agreed to 3.95. Somebody said, well, it must be a totally different plane. Nope. In fact, I actually had one generator added. It's not a big deal. One generator added. And they said to me, then Boeing came to me, so it's 3.9 as opposed to 5.7. Now, that took about 2 months, 3 months. But isn't it really nice, right? The same exact plane, except with a different paint job. Our plane is going to be as beautiful as that looks, Jackie O. Our plane is going to be red, white, and blue. Doesn't that make sense? Red, white. And then they came to me, and the general came to me. The general came to me, and he said, sir, I know the way you like everything to be perfect. And, sir, instead of coming down, see the big stairway on the left? You're really up there. When you're at that stairway, you're like on a 3-story building, right? And, sir, if it's rainy or bad weather or it's blowing, and I'm thinking about my hair, right? Oh, sometimes, by the time I get down, the big one, the little one is a different deal, but the big one, which we use 95%, by the time I come down that big stairway, sometimes I am wiped out. You know, the wind is blowing. I said, is there any wind outside? Yes, sir, 50 miles an hour. That's good. The stairs are shaking. I'm shaking the whole thing. By the time I get into the car, I end up running the last. By the time I get into that car, I'm wiped out, okay? I got to say. Does anybody have a mirror? So the general said, sir, we can build a new stairway under the plane, sir. It's a spiral stairway. I said, wow, that's a great idea. You'd be totally protected, sir. I said, fantastic. How much? 50. I said, wow, 50. That's a great deal. I'll take it. I said, I'll take it. I said, by the way, so for $50,000, I can build. No, sir, $50 million. I said, I don't want this stairway for $50 million. I tell you this because you people understand business. No, he said, we can build it for 50. I thought he meant $50,000. That's a lot of money for a stairway. No, we can do it for $50 million. So if you don't mind, I decided, let my hair get messed up, right? So that's the story. That's a long story on the beautiful Air Force One. So we have it coming in, and can you imagine after all that? I better win this damn contest. Can you imagine if I saw Sleepy Joe? He wouldn't even know it's a different plane. He'd get on, oh, this is very nice. Where am I? Where am I? You're an Air Force One. Oh, I didn't know that. This is very nice. How old is this plane? He'd say. I'd say, brand new, sir. It's brand new. Just came. If I see that gorgeous, you have to see the striping. It's incredible. There'll be nothing like it. And I don't want to see it. He won't appreciate it. He won't appreciate it because he won't understand it. But anyway, so that's a story that I tell. I could tell 100 stories like that. It's all the same. The waste, it's all the same. And it was all coming together. And then we had to spend $3 trillion on the plague. Can you believe it? With all of that, peanuts we're talking, we had to spend. And we signed a trade deal with China, which was so great. But the ink wasn't dry when we got hit by the China plague. And we'll never forget it. We'll never forget it. You watch. Sleepy Joe Biden doesn't care about New Hampshire. I saw that. He left this state before the primary was even over. He abandoned you. You know? He likes to say Pennsylvania. Well, he left them too when he was 9 years old, you know. And based on the polls, I'm seeing the people of Pennsylvania understand that very much. And as I said at the very beginning, a lot of strange things. You know, we're way up in Florida. We're doing fantastic in Iowa, fantastic in North Carolina. We think really good in Pennsylvania. We're doing great in the great state of Texas. And these aren't polls. These are people now. You know, now you don't need polls so much. These are people. We're doing great all over. Georgia's looking very good. We're doing great all over. This could be a very interesting evening on November 3rd. Now, you know, the biggest risk we have are the fake ballots. To me, they send millions of ballots all over the country. They found some in a garbage can, military ballots. The name Trump was written in by the military, and they found them in a garbage can. Thousands and thousands, 500,000 incorrect applications in Virginia. Thousands and thousands of things. I say the biggest risk we have are the fake ballots. You know, I voted yesterday in Florida, and I went and I voted in person because I like to vote in person. Call me old-fashioned, but a lot of our people want to vote in person. They want to vote. So I went to Florida. Sir, do you have identification? They said that. And they didn't mean to be rude. They want to go through like they would. I took out a passport. I gave them a passport. I took an ID. Wouldn't it be nice to have voter ID, by the way? So the woman was great, very smart, and I gave her the passport. I gave her the ID. She said, sir, I think you might be President Trump. Okay, so I qualified. And then I sat. They gave me the voting thing, slips, very computerized, very good. I went through every one. They said, sir, is this it? Yes. Good. And then I signed my name on something else. Sir, you can go to the booth, and please, here's a pad. You can keep it secret. I said, I don't want to keep it secret. I voted for Donald Trump. I don't want to keep it secret. Now, if I voted for Sleepy Joe, that would be a story, right? That I would want to keep secret. So anyway, no, but I went in. People were fantastic, and I went in, really professional people, great people. I went in, I took it out of the folder. I mean, they wanted me to put it in a folder just to walk it 20 feet to a machine. I took it out. I put it in that. I put it in again 2 pages, certain things they had in, a lot of different races, the presidency and other races, good races, congressperson, good races, put them in. And I said, wow, there was no cheating. There was no way you could cheat. There was no way anything could go wrong. It was like a perfect deal. Now they send, think of that. So that's one way. The other way, they send millions of ballots. We don't know who's sending them. We don't know where they're going. We don't know who's bringing them back. We don't know who signed them. In Nevada, they want to have a thing where you don't have to have any verification of the signature. It is so terrible. And you know who knows it more than us? The Democrats. All Democrat-run states are the ones that are the problem. And they know it, and they say, he's against our freedom. He's against our freedom. No. I want to have a real election. I don't want to have millions of votes sent to millions of different people. And I call them unsolicited. I say solicited is good. That's where you write in, you want, they send it to you, etc. Which still is not as good as being there. But it's pretty good. But when you have unsolicited, meaning you don't want them, they call them universal. I said, that name doesn't make sense. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. They call it different names. I came up with a name. They have millions of unsolicited ballots being sent all over. And it's no good. It's no good. And there's tremendous, every day you pick up the newspaper and you read about, the only good thing is we have people watching them like crazy, both law enforcement and yourselves and everybody. But in Philadelphia, which is notorious for what goes on, we want to have poll watchers. They won't let us have poll watchers. So we're in court over poll watchers. Why won't they let you have a poll watcher? What's wrong? Think of it. What's wrong? Philadelphia has been unbelievable. When a candidate, very wonderful candidate, happened to lose very badly, ran a number of years ago, a man named Mitt Romney. Did anybody ever hear of Mitt Romney? He did so badly in Philadelphia, almost nobody voted for him. Now, you know that's not so, but they gave almost no votes for him, almost nothing. And you know that's not so, and it's not right. And we want poll watchers in Philadelphia, and they won't let us have them, so we're in court. But think of it, when they won't let you have a poll watcher, what's that all about? What's that all about? So we're watching it very closely, but I was really impressed yesterday in Florida because there was no way there could be any cheating. There was no way. These people were great. The system is great. And there was no way you're voting twice, you're voting 20 times, or you're not voting at all. It was a beautiful thing to see. But the ballots are not that way. The ballots get handled by many, many people by the time they even get there. And it shouldn't be allowed. And the Democrats know it's a hoax, and they know. And it's going to cause problems. Then we have a ruling from a court, I won't say which court, a ruling that the ballots can go beyond November 3rd, and then they can take time to, in the state of Pennsylvania, which we love, which we think we're going to win. I love Pennsylvania. I won it the last time against Crooked Hillary, right? It was the first time in a long time that somebody won. And we have a situation where they have their ballots, and they have a long time to count the ballots. A lot of bad things will happen during that period of time. Terrible things will happen. Crooked, dishonest things. But that means that Pennsylvania, a major state, an important state, very important to me. I'm there all the time. I went to school there. Pennsylvania. So if we don't know the result on November 3rd, that means, unlike has always been where you generally find out the election that night or soon, we could be going on forever with this. It's the craziest thing. And it's frankly, it's a crazy ruling. And we shouldn't let it happen. We shouldn't let it happen. I think that's my biggest fear, my biggest risk for this election is the unsolicited, the millions of unsolicited ballots they're sending out. In California, they're sending millions and millions and millions of ballots. People are getting ballots that don't want them. People are getting ballots that don't even know why they're getting them. It's a terrible thing. Sleepy Joe Biden works for big tech and big donors. And, you know, I'll tell you, when you watch what's happened, how he's being protected, because you see what's going on, he is a corrupt politician. And one of the reasons, and I would say the primary reason he's put the lid on again, is because he can't answer the questions. Now, he can't answer these questions. He goes to China, the family makes a fortune. He goes to Ukraine, his son gets put on a board for $183,000 a month. How about Russia? Russia, the wife of the mayor of Moscow, pays him $3.5 million for the son, and then he has stuff that he has to give his father, 10%. Then he has another one where it's 50%. What the hell is going on? Terrible. And then the media refuses to write it. They refuse, except for the New York Post, by the way, whose stock has gone way up. I have a lot of respect for the New York Post. What they've done is incredible. So I'm not just running against Joe Biden. I'm running against the left-wing media, Silicon Valley, censors who want to manipulate and control the American people. No, it's unbelievable. And if you say anything bad about Biden, they block you. They take you down. Or they make it so you can't go on any of these sites, Twitter or any of them. It's unbelievable. Some high-quality people. They put up a story from the New York Post, fourth largest newspaper in the country, and the oldest by far, founded by Alexander Hamilton. Somebody puts up a story about this Biden corruption, which is incredible, and they block the story and take down his site. It's unbelievable. The great Charlie Kirk. But many of them. With your vote, we will continue to fight for American workers, lower drug prices. We are bringing drug prices down, way down. It's already happened. Support our great police, protect the Second Amendment, defend our borders, and ensure more products are proudly stamped with that very beautiful phrase, made in the USA, like the old days, right? We go back to the old days sometimes. Made in the USA. People used to be so proud of that. We are again. We will deliver record prosperity, epic job growth, groundbreaking therapies. The therapies are unbelievable. By the way, here I am. Now, I don't know. Maybe I didn't need it. Maybe I didn't need it, but I'm happy I took that Regeneron. Superman. And a safe vaccine, and we have many of our greatest companies and labs are coming out very quickly with the vaccines. They're doing great. Very shortly, very quickly. It's going to be delivered fast. That will quickly end the pandemic. It's ending anyway. We're rounding the turn, but the vaccine will get it down fast. Because we want normal life to resume. Normal life. We just want normal. Normal life. And next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. You know, last year, New Hampshire had by far the best year economically that you've ever had. And I can say that for, I think, every state in the union. I really think just about. I don't have to go check. I don't have to be like Joe where he has no idea, you know. You just say, no, it's uniform. I think just about every state in the union. And you see what's happening now. We have a super V. We're recovering at a level. Housing starts. The Atlanta Fed just predicted. Now, this is not a forecast by me. This is the Atlanta Fed. That GDP has risen, will rise for the third quarter, which will end, by the way, it'll be, I think the number will be produced on November 1st, which is just before, but hopefully you'll have voted by that time. That's the crazy thing. Everybody will have voted before some of this incredible news comes in, but the news has been very good anyway. They're predicting GDP up 35%. Nobody's ever had that. Right? I think 8%, I don't know what the record is, but like 8 or 9 or something maybe is a record, but this is 35% up, faster than any other country anywhere in the world. We went down less, and we've gone up faster. So within my first year in office, I delivered the largest tax cuts and reform in the history of our country. We cut taxes $2,200 a year, So that's for the typical American family. We doubled the child tax credit, $1,000 a child, and we increased median household income to the highest levels ever recorded. Highest. Then we had to close it up, save millions of lives, at least 2 million lives, and now we're opening it up. The radical Biden-Harris agenda, what do you think of Harris? Oh, boy. More liberal than Crazy Bernie. Can you believe it? So you have Crazy Bernie. He's crazy, there's no question. But he's a good sport. He's a great sport. No. Have you ever seen anybody lose so much and be so happy about it? It's happened now twice. Is Bernie running again in 4 years? Media, is Bernie Sanders projected to run again in 4 years? I think so. He'll be up there. One thing about him, he fights. Yeah. You know, he fights. But he somehow doesn't mind losing because Elizabeth Warren, a neighbor of yours. No. Elizabeth Warren, super radical left, not as bad as Bernie. And by the way, not even close to Kamala. But if she would have, and you know, I say it all the time, if she would have left, because she was gone. If she would have left before Super Tuesday, Bernie would have won every single state. That Sleepy Joe, he was shocked when he won. They said, Joe, you won. What? I did? How? What happened? Well, Elizabeth Warren stayed in the race, Joe. So when people voted, they split the vote. So Bernie Sanders would have gotten all of it. He didn't have to get all. If he got just a few of her votes, he would have won everything. I mean, literally. But he would have gotten almost all of them. He said, oh, okay. Explain. How does that work? I said, forget it, Joe. He wanted to know how that worked. The radical Biden-Harris agenda is projected to slash the typical American's income, and you saw this in the Wall Street Journal, income by $6,500 a year over a short period of time. And also, it will destroy at least 5 million jobs. Joe Biden is promising the largest tax hike in American history. This is the first time, I said it last night, we were in Ohio, we were in Wisconsin, we were in North Carolina. I'm doing 3 or 4 of these suckers a day. That's not bad. Right? And he's got the lid on everything. I said, where is he campaigning? Sir, he's decided you can't have a president in this world where you have President Xi, President Putin, Kim Jong-un, and lots of people. You cannot have a low-energy president. Now, there's a reason he's got the lid, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I have a feeling it's because of the corruption, because he can't have. Did you see where he walked out in prime time right after it happened, holding ice cream, right? And the press asked him, what flavor is it, sir? What flavor? I think it's vanilla and chocolate. That was the question. They don't ask me questions like that. What flavor, sir? I don't think he likes me too much. We better win. No, he's not a nice guy. He's not. No, people that knew him in prime time, he was never a nice guy. Phony guy. He was never a nice guy. I don't think he's a nice guy. But now he's probably more agitated than ever before. Biden's $4 trillion tax increase is a missile aimed at the heart of the middle class and middle class families. That's all it is. You're going to lose all your jobs. These companies are all going to go back where they came from. We brought in tremendous numbers of companies. I mean, look at the auto business. We hadn't had a factory in 40 years, and now they're opening up all over Michigan, all over the place. Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina. We didn't have, I'd say to Prime Minister Abe, a great, great gentleman who retired. He had a problem, medical problem, but he retired. I'd say, Shinzo, you got to open some factories in Michigan. You got to open up some factories in the U.S. I don't care where. You got to open up factories, Shinzo. You're selling too many cars made in Japan. You got to make them in the U.S. And it'd say, well, I don't do that. I mean, look, we don't have anything to do with that. This is done by the private sector. I said, Shinzo, you're a powerful man. You can do it. I really can't. I said, you have to do it. Next day, they announced 5 companies were opening up factories. So that was the end of that idea. And he's a great guy, Shinzo. And I hope he's going to be well. He was a great leader of Japan. In my second term, I will pass another historic middle-class tax cut. It's already... No, Biden, all my life I've been studying politics. I watched it. I was on the other side. I was a contributor to like everybody. They came to my office. I was a contributor to everybody. And they would come in. But all my life I watched, and I'd watch taxes. And I've never seen this before, where somebody goes, we will raise your taxes. Vote for me. No, it's never happened. I've always watched politicians, we will cut your taxes, we will cut your taxes, we will cut your taxes. Biden gets up, we will raise your taxes. And people say, oh, a lot of people don't get it. They'll go like, oh, did I hear that right? No, it's going to raise your taxes. So Biden wants to eliminate oil. Think of it in Texas. You saw him in the debate the other night. Now, he can't get away with that. I said, so tell me, because he almost made it. And then that last question got him. And Kristen, who is, not particularly in my camp, I thought she did a good job, to be honest. I thought she did a good job. She looks at him, she goes, why would you do that? And then I said, yeah, why would you do that? And unfortunately for his party, he said he will transition out of oil. And I said, are you listening, Texas, right? Are you listening, Pennsylvania? And are all the people in the country, because we have an energy-independent country right now. And once we get New Hampshire and New England, the pipeline cutting across New York, which we're very close to getting, you will have energy prices that will be like low, very low, very low. And nobody else will be able to get that pipeline, that I can tell you, nobody else. That means that no heat in New Hampshire, winters, $5 a gallon gasoline, much more than that, I think. Think of it, what are you now, $2? And you'll go under $2, right? $2, right? Armenia. You know Armenia? We're working on that. We're working. We did it with Kosovo and Serbia. Do you believe I got 3 nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? The Middle East, we're doing peace. I did it the opposite way of what these fools did for years. We just signed the 3rd Sudan yesterday. We signed. So we have Bahrain, UAE, United Arab Emirates, led by a great gentleman, a great leader, a great warrior, actually, Mohammed. And yesterday we got Sudan. I mean, no blood in the sand, no cost, no this, no that. The opposite way. And then we got one, Serbia. We had Serbia, because this relates to Armenia. We had Serbia, Kosovo. We're doing a trade deal. I said, wait a minute. These people, right? Serbia. These people have been killing themselves. They've been killing each other for years and years and decades. And we're dealing with both of them unrelated. I said, fellas, if you don't get your act together, we're not going to deal with you. What the hell do we have to deal for? We don't have to. We're doing trade deals. I said, wait a minute. They've been fighting each other and killing each other for years. I told my people, tell them they got to work a deal. Otherwise, we're not going to do a deal with either of them. Of course, it's nothing. And you know what? They hugged and they kissed in the Oval Office, and they were so happy. And this is after many years. Nobody thought they could come together. Nobody thought they'd come together. That deal was worse than Israel, if you think about it, and the Palestinians. Israel and the Palestinians, they say, can't. It'll come together. It'll come together. We stopped paying. We used to give the Palestinians $750 million a year. And I said, look, we're not going to pay you. If you're not going to make a deal, why would we pay? And other people said that was a terrible thing. It wasn't a terrible thing, because they'd say death to America, death to Israel, et cetera, et cetera. And now they want to talk. They all want to talk. So we have 3 countries. We have many countries lined up. You'll end up with peace in the Middle East with nothing, but for nothing. And a neighbor of yours, John Kerry, said 2 years ago, it would be impossible to do the deal that way. No, that's the only way you can do the deal. And it's all coming together beautifully. We're going to have peace in the Middle East. What we've done is pretty amazing. But with Serbia, Kosovo, so we signed a deal. So they gave me a Nobel Prize for that. They gave me a Nobel Prize for something else. They should give me a Nobel Prize for what I did in Syria. When I say Nobel Prize, nomination, I don't know. I don't know. But with Serbia, so now we have Armenia. Look at the Armenia. They are incredible people. They're fighting like hell, right? They're fighting like hell. And you know what? We're going to get something done because, thank you, and I love you too. The Armenians have had a tough go. But I saw, in fact, I was in yesterday, Ohio, actually. I was in Ohio because I went to various stops, but in Ohio, we had a tremendous group of Armenians with the flag and the whole thing. The spirit. And the problems that they have and the death and the fighting and everything else, we'll get that straightened out. That's going to be, I call that an easy one, okay? We'll get that. Go back and tell your people. Go back and tell your people, all right? We'll get that straightened out. Armenia, why not? It's easy. If you know what you're doing, it's like that. If you know what you're doing, it's easy. But we will. But think of that with Kosovo, Serbia. I said, well, we're doing these two. We're not doing either deal unless they put it together. And they both came back, the prime ministers. They came back. They were in the Oval Office 2 weeks ago, hugging and kissing. It was an incredible thing, very historic. And what are we doing? We're saving a lot of lives. We're saving a lot of good people from being killed. See, normally I wouldn't tell you all this stuff, but we're in the afternoon. Where are we going from here? There's no more NFL that you watch. Where the hell are we going? Biden is also vowed. You think Sleepy Joe would be doing these things? I don't think so. I don't think. He'll go back to bed. Hillary used to spend a lot of time in bed, too. But she had more energy than him. She did. She had more. They said, what's the difference between crooked Hillary Clinton and Biden? I said, well, obviously they're both crooked, but let's get out of that. The big difference is she had more energy, but not much. And she's a more intelligent person. I will say this, she's a much more intelligent person. Until she used the word deplorables, I thought she was very smart. Biden has also vowed to impose the highest business tax rate in the developed world on companies that created jobs in our country. They came over here, they created jobs. They'll be gone in 2 minutes. It would trigger a mass exodus of companies and jobs out of America and back into the places they came for or other places. That's what happens. They would leave. And we don't want people to leave. We want them to stay, and we want those jobs, and we want that income. You've had them leave already under NAFTA. Biden also pledged to eliminate our tariffs on China. We're taking in tens of billions of dollars. We taxed them where they dumped the steel. We taxed them where they targeted our farmers. I gave our farmers, this doesn't pertain too much to you, but a little bit. I gave our farmers $28 billion from China because they were targeted. And it kept our farmers solvent and actually strong. In other words, he wants to raise taxes on American factories and give preferential treatment to Chinese factories. There's nobody that wants to see us raise taxes on companies more than China and other countries because they're going to pick up the business. So remember this, if Biden wins, China wins. If we win, New Hampshire wins and America wins. Very simple. Very simple. Besides that, how can he make a deal with China when he's taking a lot of money out of China, right? For himself and his family. His son walked away with $1.5 billion. He gets fees on $1.5 billion. So how can a guy like that, seriously, did you see the letter? Oh, that laptop he's got. You know, the laptop. You know what it's called? I said it last night in Wisconsin. It's called the laptop from hell, right? That laptop. That laptop is not good. But did you see that he wants $10 million a year from China for introductory reasons? In other words, he's going to introduce them to people. You know who the people are going to be? His father. Going to introduce him to his father. So this guy was, we won't say why and how, sadly, no longer in the Navy, right? Empty years, nothing. And then his father becomes vice president, and now he's making tens of millions of dollars. It's wrong. It's wrong. And Joe's making it too, by the way. Joe's making it too. 10%. We got to give 10% to the big guy. Oh, what does that mean? Tell us. What does 10% to the big guy mean? Explain that. That's why Joe has the lid on. The Biden tax hikes will also reimpose Obamacare's individual mandate penalty, which I ended. I ended the individual mandate, most unpopular part, which really makes it not even Obamacare anymore. We took it, the most egregious thing in Obamacare was the individual mandate. You had to pay a fortune for the privileges of not paying a fortune to have terrible health insurance, all right? And in the meantime, we've brought the rates down. We've done it well. We've done a great job with it. But much better would be if we come up with brand new health care. We'll see what happens in the Supreme Court. Always protecting people with pre-existing conditions, always. 80% of this tax would fall on Americans making less than $50,000 a year. You know, he keeps talking about the 400. It doesn't work that way, and he knows that. Well, he doesn't know it, but the people surrounding him. There's virtually no aspect of American life that Joe Biden does not want to tax and regulate into oblivion. And worse will be the regulations, because the taxes will go through the roof. But I think that the biggest reason we were successful is that I took off more regulations than any president, whether it's 4 years, 8 years, or in one case more. He will also massively cut your he's always wanted to do this. Massively cut your Social Security and your Medicare. And it's all part of the war on the middle class. I don't know what he's thinking. I've never seen a politician that wants to hurt Social Security that survives. And then he denied it, but you'll see in a second. Because you don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to Biden explain his crazy views and crazy plans just a little while ago. So roll out the video. I do this because I love this state. I spent a fortune for that, so I hope it works. I hope it works.
The way we pay for it is by rolling back unproductive tax cuts. That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts.
Guess what? If you elect me, you're not going to have your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
I would repeal the $2 trillion tax cut. First thing I would do as president was eliminate the president's tax cut.
Let's reverse the Trump tax cut.
The Vice President has laid out a plan to increase taxes.
When would you make these changes is my point, because the economy is in a bad state right now. You wouldn't, would you wait for unemployment to go under 2%?
No. I'd make the changes on the corporate taxes on day one.
Bingo.
Let me ask you a question, John.
Yeah.
You're right here with me.
Yeah.
Have you been on the floor of the Senate? You were in the Senate for a few years.
Yeah.
Time and time again talking about the necessity, with pride, about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting veterans programs.
No.
You never said that.
No.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Look, here's the deal.
You're an honest guy. Why don't you just tell the truth here? We all make mistakes.
I am telling the truth.
And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
Joe, let me repeat it again. I want you just to be straight with the American people. I am saying that you have been on the floor of the Senate time and time again talking about the need to cut Social Security, Medicare, and veterans programs. Is that true, or is that
no,
not
it's
true?
not true.
That is not true?
That is not true.
I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Everything was on the table. I did not support any of those cuts in Social Security or in veterans benefits.
Whoa. Everything was on the table. All right, you're right. You just said it, including, in your judgment, cuts to Social Security and veterans.
In order to get the kinds of changes we need on other things related.
Joe,
but we did not cut it.
I know, because people like me helped stop that. All that I would say to the American people, go to YouTube. It's all over the place. Joe said it many, many times. And I'm surprised, you can defend that or change your mind on it, but you can't deny the reality.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together
and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Proudly for your dad, first African American state senator in the state of Delaware. Everything about. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
So he did try and cut your Social Security, just like he said for a year, there will be no fracking. And then he got through that, and he goes to Pennsylvania, and he says you can frack. And then he denied it, and the media never did anything about it. They don't ask him the question. But the other day, fortunately, in the debate, in one of the better parts of the debate, he said he's getting rid of it. So I think Pennsylvania is going to, he will not let you frack. It's not him. His party will never let you frack, okay? It's 1 million jobs in Pennsylvania, and for you, it's billions of dollars in energy costs. I will cut your taxes, not raise them, and I will always protect Medicare and Social Security, just like I've been doing. This election is a choice between a Trump recovery, and I call it a Trump super recovery because that's what's happening. You see the name. And a Biden depression. If he gets in, you're going to have a depression, the likes of which you've never seen before, with the possible exception of 1929. He's going to raise your taxes through the sky. He's going to put all those regulations. It would take 18 years to get a highway approved. We have it down to 2. We're trying to get it down to 1. And it may not get approved for environmental or for safety reasons, but you're going to know very quickly. We have regulation cuts. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. He wants to put all that garbage back in, all that wasted stuff. And we have more cuts to come. And we need regulation. We're going to have regulation, but it's going to be reasonable. It's not going to be where it's impossible to build a simple road from point A to point B. So you have a choice, New Hampshire, between a Trump boom or a Biden lockdown. He wants to lock it down. He said, no, I'd lock it down. We're not locking down. We understand the disease. We're going to take such, and we've been taking care of our elderly, especially with heart or diabetes problems. And we're going to take care of it. And we're going to be careful. We're going to be vigilant. But we're not locking down. He would lock it down in a heartbeat. He would. The Biden lockdown would permanently destroy the lives and dreams of tens of millions of our citizens, wipe out what will be and what's turning out to be the greatest economic comeback of all time. You see what's happening. Desperately hurt our small businesses, inflict lasting harm on our children, and massively reduce life expectancy for the American people. Life expectancy. So, for the American people, you see what happens. And I came up with a statement. I don't know. I think it was me. They'll try and find somebody else said it 25 years ago. The cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. When you look at what's happening with these lockdowns, right? I mean, look at Michigan, how she's so vicious. She's vicious to everybody but her husband. He can do whatever he wants. He can go sailing. He can do whatever he wants. No, but look, and we won that case in the Supreme Court. Michigan has to open. It was unconstitutional. She was running like jail cells over there. And Pennsylvania and so many other places. But fortunately, you people are in good shape. You're in good shape. You have no complaints. Lockdowns will also lead to a surge in drug overdoses. That's what's happening. Drugs, alcohol, depression, suicides all over the place. Tremendous family disputes like they've never had before. It's a horrible thing that happens. The cure can't be worse. Under my leadership, We have marshaled the full power of government in our fight to end the opioid epidemic, to help those addicted, and to keep our precious children from getting hooked on drugs. It's had a tremendous impact. And it's really, because this was one of the first states I really worked hard on and campaigned in, I learned so much about that whole drug problem from New Hampshire. This is really the place and you have incredible law enforcement, police, fire departments, where I met with them, and they know this problem better than the experts. Biden is the shutdown candidate. The Democrats are the shutdown party. They will shut down your jobs, shut down your schools, your businesses, your police departments, your energy. They'll shut down your freedom, and they will shut down the greatest economic comeback in the history of our country. That's what we're doing. Do you know how hard it was for me to say, we'll shut it down? We have the greatest economy in history. We're blowing away China. China was supposed to overtake us 10 years ago. 2019, they were going to overtake us. They were so far behind, we left them in the dust. Now, all of a sudden, we have to shut it down. But we saved. Remember, 2.2 million people were going to die. We saved 2 million people, and now we're opening up. And it was a great honor. We had such incredible people. Ventilators, what we did with ventilators. We didn't have ventilators. And now we're making them for the entire world. We have all we can use in our countries. We got along great with a lot of the governors. Some governors, they were all thankful on the phone. Sir, this is incredible what you've done for this state, that state, that. If they happen to be not good people, they would then go out and see the reporters, these people right there, and they'd say, we're not happy with the job the president is doing. We got them gowns and masks and goggles and ventilators and everything else. But now we have the vaccines coming way ahead of schedule. If this were another administration, you wouldn't have vaccines for 3 years. If this were another administration, you wouldn't have Regeneron that nobody heard of 4 months ago. You wouldn't have these new super drugs. And you look at the mortality rate down 85%. 85. Yet it's incredible. And then you look at Europe and what's going on. They always used to use Europe. Now they're not using it anymore. Yet as we've seen from surging cases in Europe, they're never-ending shutdowns. It just never stops. Europe shut it down tight, and now they have a surge. And it'll work out, but it should have never happened from China. They closed up most of China, but they didn't close the world. They let it come to Europe, the U.S., the rest of the world. Joe Biden has made a corrupt bargain in exchange for his party's nomination. He's handed control of his party over to the socialists. He's handed it over to some very, very bad people. They are filled, and I've seen it, they're filled with rage and desperate for power. This election day, the people of New Hampshire must stop the anti-American radicals by giving Joe Biden, and it's really not Joe Biden, it's the people that control him, the people that surround him, because Joe doesn't have a clue. Joe doesn't have a clue. I really believe he doesn't have a clue. And we can be nice and we can say, oh, it's okay, or let's vote for him, we feel sorry. There's nothing to feel sorry about. This is our democracy. This is our country. We have to do what's right. And he's not a nice person. He's not a nice person. We have to give the Democrats a thundering defeat, and that includes Congress. That includes your Senate. You have a very good Senate candidate. I hope you're going to get out there. Because Corky is, where is he? Is he here? Corky Messner. Where's Corky? Corky Messner is doing great. I hear he's doing great. Right? Is he? He better do great. He's running for somebody that doesn't help our nation very much, I will tell you that. So I hope you're going to be able to get out and vote for Corky. And congressional candidates, Matt Bowers and Steve Negron. Right? Great. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Hello, fellas. Thank you very much. Good luck. Good luck. And also a friend of mine who's been with me from day one, GOP Chairman Steve Stepanek. Where's Steve? Where's Steve? Steve, are we doing okay? Because otherwise you're going to be fired so fast you had it. We're doing good? Steve is great. He loves his state and he loves our country, and he's the head of the GOP, and he tells us we're going to win. He said, sir, could you come up for a rally? I said, when would you like it? How about Sunday? I said, that's great. So I got in. It's okay. So I got in about 1 o'clock in the morning, just left. Actually, 4 states. Left Florida, right, where I voted. I went to North Carolina. I went to Ohio. I did a big one in Ohio. The crowds were unbelievable. It's an unbelievable state. We got Big Ten football back. I got it back. You know why? Because Biden and his group said, Donald Trump killed Big Ten football. I said, what do I have to do with Big Ten? What's this all about? And then I said, well, not only didn't we kill, I didn't even know they weren't going to open. I'm more focused on China, if you don't mind. And when I heard that, I said, that's terrible. I called the commissioner of football, the commissioner of Big Ten, nice guy, Warren. I said, Commissioner, we got to get it back. And he was good. And we worked very hard. I had a great group of people, Tim Pataki and some others. And we got it back. And then we got Pac-12 back, too. I said, get it back. Get it back. We got to get it back. So we have Big Ten opened up. Ohio State won and Wisconsin won. So they both won. It's nice that they won. I wouldn't have wanted to go there if they lost, but they don't lose too often. But Steve has been with us from the beginning, and he's been fantastic. He was with us for the great primary win, which was so good. And another man who's been incredible. He was from day one. He said, sir, you're going to win. I said, say it again. You're going to win, sir. And he's a real character. And he's a really good guy. And his name, I'm sure nobody ever heard of him, Corey Lewandowski. Where's Corey? Where? Oh, there they are. I'm looking for these people. Hi, Corey. Are you doing okay, Corey? Are we going to win, Corey? You better win, Corey. I'll never speak to you again. I'll never speak to you again. Hey, Corey, next time you could take a bigger chunk of the runway, please. We'd get everybody. Okay. Pretty good crowd, right? But even bigger is what's outside. What's outside? No, Corey's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's great. He does. He loves this state, and he loves our country, and he's a great person. He's a great person. In my first 3 years, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world, and now we are doing it again. You know, I see the hat. Make America great again, again. Make America great again, again. I'm going to add another again. This way I can sell you all an extra hat. It all goes to the campaign. Make America great again, again. No, we did. We had it. It was the greatest. We had the greatest economy. And I'll tell you something. We were coming together. I was getting calls. You've heard me say this. I was getting calls from people that normally I wouldn't be getting calls from. We had the best numbers, the best everything, in every way. And things were happening. Success will bring us together. And we're going to soon have that same, we will soon be in that position again. Very soon. We increased family income over $6,000, more than 5 times the gains in all 8 years. So think of that. In 3.5 years, we did more than they did in 8 years times 5. I mean, think of that. African American unemployment, Hispanic American unemployment, and Asian American unemployment all reached the lowest levels ever recorded. Women had unbelievable numbers, and more women were working than ever at any time before. Think of it. Think of it. Think of that. And by the way, suburban women, You know that. I got rid of the regulation. You know, they keep saying he's not going to do well with suburban women. And you know why they say that? Why? Because I'm going to stop crime. You know, their next spot, the Antifa people, it only happens with the Democrat-run areas, right? But like in Portland. But their next stop is suburbia. But I got rid of the regulation that will allow projects to be built right alongside of your home. And I think that I have a feeling suburban women are going to be voting for Trump. And, you know, if Biden gets in, they're putting that regulation, very specific, they're putting that regulation back, and you're going to have low-income housing and projects built. You're going to have crime like you never saw, and you're going to want to get the hell out of suburbia. So I think we're going to do very well with suburban women, and I think it's going to be one of the surprises. Remember last time, 4 years ago? We listened. I suffered with this for 6 months. My wife would say, our First Lady, by the way, says hello to everybody. She tested positive also. How about that? She was positive, and then she was better within a few days, you know. But thank you. But she's great. People love Melania. Every time I go, they have signs. We love our First Lady. We love our First Lady. She's great, great First Lady. She represents you well, I can tell you. They don't treat her fairly, but that's all right. She understands it very well. She's done a great job, very popular. But when you look at what we've done, and the last time, right, 4 years ago, he will not do well with women. Right, Corey? Remember that? He will not do well with women. And then they said, wow, he did well with women. After they're crying. They said, what happened? What happened? He did well with women. Was that the greatest evening, really? Remember? Remember, I wasn't going to win Florida. I wasn't going to win North Carolina. I wasn't going to win Pennsylvania. Michigan wasn't even talked about. Nobody had won Michigan for decades and decades, Republican. Wasn't going to win Wisconsin, same thing. Then all of a sudden they start. The evening begins. Donald Trump has won the state of Ohio by 8 points. Nobody ever thought possible. That hasn't happened. So I start off with Ohio, and they all said, 8 points. What's going on? That's when we knew there was something happening. 8 points. Donald Trump won. Then we won Florida. We won Georgia. We won South Carolina. Then we won their firewall. They called it North Carolina. They spent a fortune. They spent a fortune in North Carolina. We won North Carolina. And then we just ran it up, and it was a beautiful. Right? And then you saw these very unbiased anchors with the tears coming down. They were very unbiased. Remember John King with the red board, right? His hand was shaking at the end. He was like, well, this is not that bad that he lost Florida, that Hillary lost Florida. She could do. But, when we started getting into Pennsylvania, North Carolina, they started getting a little bit worried, right? Now, that was an amazing evening, and we're going to have an even more amazing evening in 10 days. After the virus hit, we recovered faster than any major nation in the world. We're in the process now, but there's no nation in the world that's recovered like we've recovered. Since April, we created a record 11.4 million jobs. We've spent the last 4 years reversing the damage Joe Biden and Obama inflicted. Look, we've done more in 47 months than Sleepy Joe has done in 47 years. And I really mean it, too. I really mean it. Biden is the living embodiment of the corrupt and treacherous political class that I've had to deal with. Nobody told me the swamp was going to be that vicious or that deep. Swamp creatures. I can't even believe it. I thought it would be a lot easier. They're tougher, smarter, more vicious, and we're beating the hell out of them. We're beating the hell out of them. And they got rich by bleeding America dry. These same wealthy interests are now funding my opponent's campaign. By the way, you know all the money he raises? I could raise much more. I could sit for one day in the White House and call up every guy on Wall Street, the heads of every firm. I need 10 million. I need 25 million right now. Give it to the campaign. I'd have money. I would set every record in the book. I don't want to do that because when you do that, number one, we don't need it. You remember last time we had, Hillary spent 3 or 4 times more money. It's not about the money. In fact, recently I was criticized. They said, Hillary Clinton raised more money than Donald Trump. I said, what the hell? Because, we won. And they're bragging that she raised more money. My father taught me a long time ago, if you can win and spend less money, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Right? That's a good thing. But I would have those donors. I would be talking, Trump raised $900 million. I could do that so easy, but I don't want to do that. If I do that, you'll see there's something wrong. I'm the President of the United States. I know many of these people. Every time he raises big money like that, they've made deals. They've made deals. They're very simple. I serve the people. Joe Biden has proven to be a corrupt politician, whether you like it or not. It's a corrupt politician. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. And the people of New Hampshire, you had a lot to do with it because that was a very big win we had here in that primary. And you don't want a politician. If I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and I fight harder than any president has ever fought before. I ended the NAFTA nightmare, and you know it better than anybody else. You have the scars of it better than almost any other place in the United States. And proudly signed the brand new USMCA, which has just kicked in. A whole different ballgame. I wouldn't say Mexico and Canada are thrilled with that deal, but that's okay. I took the toughest ever action to stand up to China under my leadership. We achieved the most secure border in U.S. history. And the wall is going to be finished very shortly, over 400 miles. We're doing 10 miles a week. 10 miles a week. We're doing 10 miles a week. Biden and Harris, the wall. You notice they don't talk about the wall anymore. They used to say the wall will never get built. It's terrible. Every day, front page, hammering me. I had a major party, the Democrats, along with the fake news media, and now we find out big tech. And the rhinos, too, the rhinos. You know, the rhinos in many ways are worse than all of them. That's Republican in name only. Does anybody? No, I had this major group of guys, and they used to hammer me. The wall will not happen. It will not happen. Then I won a couple of cases. They kept saying, then the wall started. Now they never mention the wall anymore. And by the way, Mexico is paying for the wall. You do know that, okay? A fee. Biden and Harris have put forward the most radical immigration plan ever conceived by a major party, including nationwide catch and release, which means open borders. It's a disaster. You catch a murderer, you catch a rapist, you know they're murderers, you know they're rapists, and you release them only into our country. If you don't mind, I ended it, and it was very tough to end it. It was very tough. And then Joe said the other night, and they come back to court. No. They never come back. I told him only a very low IQ individual comes back. They never come back. He said they come back for a trial. They say come back in 4 years. And then nobody comes back. Why would they come back? There's no reason to come back. They would never come back. Only, I'm serious, like 1%, a tiny fraction comes back. And he was so solid on that, right? You saw that. They then come back for a trial. He was making it sound catch and release was a disaster. I've ended it. We're not letting criminals into our country. Our country would surrender control of our border, and we would surrender control to the cartels in Mexico, who are vicious. The Biden border plan would be the biggest gift in the history. There's never been anything like it to drug traffickers, to human traffickers. They traffic in women, not so much children, not men almost at all. They traffic in women. And because of the wall, they can't come in. This is a problem, by the way, that's all over the world. This is not just us in southern border. This is a modern-day problem at a level that it's never been before. They traffic in women. all over the world, and it's because of the internet, because of the computer, but it's because of the internet, and children to a much lesser extent, but women. But the drug traffickers would be allowed to freely infiltrate our country and pump their poison into our towns and schools, especially places like New Hampshire, where it was so prevalent before I came onto the scene, and it's been a lot better, and we're going to get it much, much better. Under my administration, over the last 3 years, Border Patrol and ICE have seized over 2 million pounds of deadly narcotics. That's a number that is unthinkable. We even have our Navy, our ships are now in the Gulf and in the Pacific getting it, because when we closed up the border, they went by water. Okay, they don't miss a trick. They're very smart, but we're seizing tremendous amounts in the ocean and in the Gulf. Working with Colombian officials, we've also seized or disrupted 227 tons of poisonous narcotics since April. That's just since April. And then Joe Biden goes out and says the other day that America is nothing more than an idea. No, America is a great country. That's what it is. It's not an idea. It's a great country. And you can't have a great country unless you have borders. Unless you have borders. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military, all made in the USA, much of it in New Hampshire. And we have weaponry, missiles, rockets, tanks, planes, tankers, submarines. We have weapons. We're the envy of the world. Russia, China, North Korea. You take any country, we're the envy of the world, and they all know it. Our nuclear plants are all brought back to perfect condition or new. And just hope to God we never have to use it. But you know what? It's going to be far less likely to use when we have it. But it's all been brought back. We have the greatest weapons, the hypersonic missiles that go 7 times faster than a normal very fast missile. We have the greatest equipment. We're the envy of the world. And hopefully, hope to God we don't have to use it. We passed big veteran area. Where's Big Al? Where's Al? I used to love that guy. We passed VA choice and VA accountability. We got it done, right? We got it done. So now instead of waiting online for weeks and weeks and days, and we have your VA choice. You go to a doctor, you get yourself taken care of. We paid the bill, and it's just been a great thing. We just got a 91% approval rating from the vets, the highest we've ever had by a lot. How's Al? Is he around? Where's Al? Where's Al? Where's Al? Al, did I do a good job with the vets? Look at him. Al was great. Al was so depressed when I first started running. I saw him. I just liked him. A big vet. He headed up some groups, and he was telling me how badly the vets were treated. So, Al, we got 91% approval rating from the vets. Thank you, Al. And I hope you're feeling good. You're feeling all right? He went through a lot. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. We killed him. Took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. And we took out the mass murder of American troops and many others. Soleimani is dead. The both of them dead. Worst terrorists. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. $150 billion. $1.8 billion in cash. I withdrew. The deal was nothing. And by the way, the first call I get if we win will be from the leaders of Iran. They want to make a deal because their country is going to hell with the sanctions. They're down 26 or 27% in GDP, which I think is a record also. I recognized the true capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. And instead of never-ending wars, we are forging peace in the Middle East. No more blood on the sea. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, and a limitless future for all Americans. And do me a favor. Vote for your senator, please. He's going to be such a great senator. I don't know. It's probably a tough race, but you should vote. He will be fantastic. He's what we need. And in conclusion, I want to just say this. A vote for Republicans is really a vote for the American dream, because we're about the American dream. And in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance on China once and for all. It's already happening. It's already happening. That's already happening. We will hire more police. We love our police. Increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. And we're giving you a great new Supreme Court justice, by the way. That'll take place on Monday. The Democrats are thrilled. Monday. 3 of them, all great. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. That's what we have. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, already signed and done, goes into effect on January 1st. Lower drug prices, favored nations, lowest prices in the world. I'm instituting favored nations. The drug companies do not love me too much. They're taking more ads than anybody's ever taken, but that's okay. People understand. And we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions, always. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of New Hampshire. Well, I'm standing up. For the last 4 years, you've seen me fight for you, and now I'm relying on you to deliver another historic victory for our country. Get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your coworkers, even get your bosses. Say, "Boss, you got to come with me." And get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. From Nashua to Dixville, from Portsmouth to Plymouth, from Concord to Claremont, and from Meredith to right here in Manchester. I like Manchester. We inherit the legacy of red-blooded New Hampshire patriots who lived by that immortal motto, "Live free or die." Live free or die. That's right. That's probably about as good as it gets, right? That's good. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed our oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world. And the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. It's happening very quickly. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of New Hampshire, we have made America powerful again, our military. We have made America wealthy again, our stock market, 401ks. How are your 401ks doing? We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, New Hampshire. Thank you.
All right, President Trump wrapping up in Manchester. We now have the rest of the day off. Thank the Lord. We are going to be busy. Tomorrow we're going to be in Pennsylvania. Catch all 3 rallies tomorrow in Pennsylvania right here on RSBN. Right here on RSBN tomorrow, all day long live coverage. Lidditz, PA, Allentown, Pennsylvania, and also Martinsburg. We're going to be in Allentown in the morning with special guest host Scott Pressler. We're going all in for President Trump in Pennsylvania. We'll then be headed to, on Tuesday, we'll be headed to the state of Wisconsin again. We're going to be headed to Michigan. We're going to be headed to Nebraska, and it's just going to keep getting crazy. We'll be heading out west again, I think, on Wednesday, so buckle up, and thank you for your support. We can't do it without you. RSBnetwork.com/donate. Sending it back now to Mike Dinwiddie and Alex Caldwell live from Manchester. Have a great Sunday. God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for tuning in with us today on Right Side Broadcasting. As President Trump has just wrapped up his remarks in Manchester, New Hampshire. I want to give a special thanks to everybody that donated via Super Chat, donated via website. We have a busy lineup. Tomorrow, I am going to Allentown, Pennsylvania, where Scott Pressler will be guest corresponding with me. So I've got to make a flight this afternoon. I've got to run to the airport, so we're going to be wrapping up very quickly here. Just so you know, we've got 3 President Trump rallies tomorrow just in Pennsylvania alone. And then Tuesday, he's in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. Then we're heading out west to unannounced rallies. They will be coming, but we know that they're coming. This is going to be a critical 9 days. You must support Right Side Broadcasting. Go to our website, rsbnetwork.com/donate. You can donate via Super Chat in the bottom right-hand corner, or you can mail a check to our physical address, 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Now, I'm going to hand it over to Alex. Alex, bring us home.
Thank you, Mike. I'm just going to do a quick shout out to a couple of people who donated to us. So, G-Moto, thank you for your donation. Robert Carlin says, being a Christian station, I was wondering, what do you think about my quote? It's an important election. Who do you want, Trump or Barabbas? Well, I think we all want Trump. We would not want Joe Barabbas. Carolyn Corbin, thank you, Joe, and your fabulous staff for your excellent work. Jack Vin Snyder, great job, RSBN. We love the president here in Michigan, MAGA 2020. Tom Brooks says, thank you for all the great coverage. Serb says, your work on these rallies is beyond reproach. I'm a Vietnam vet era. I'm proud to be an American. From Minish says, great job being done by this group of young people getting the truth out. Thank you. Richard Arnold says, God bless America, one nation under God. Diana Thorne says, Trump rocks, best president ever, a California supporter. Janice A. Coy says, thank you for your coverage. White cannot get out, so she attends rally every day with your coverage. Thank you so much. Freddie Montel says, thank you for all you all do such a fantastic job. Thank you for supporting President Trump. And from a guy named Vote Early, he says, you guys are doing a great job. I hope you both host as many rallies as possible. Thank you. From Milton C. Golden says, we need more guys like you, and thank you for your input, and God bless. Well, thank you to everybody who donated. If we did not get to read off your donation today, we do apologize. We try to get to as many as we can, but unfortunately we can't always get to all of them. But just know that we do appreciate everything that you guys do. We are entirely viewer funded, and everything that you do helps us out tremendously. So thank you all much for your support. I encourage you all to please continue to donate to us. Again, like Mike said, rsbnetwork.com/donate. That is our website. You can donate in the live chat as well. And you can also mail a donation to us at 1550 Opelika Road, spelled O-P-E-L-I-K-A, 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. We are live in Manchester, New Hampshire. My name is Alex Caldwell, and thank you all for joining us today. God bless you all.